Keep that. Good evening, all of you. So, law paper is over now for all of you. Can you all hear me properly and see me live? I was checking all the settings. Everything is perfect from my side. Let me know. Right. So, it's not that because I'm teaching law, I'm saying after the costing paper is over, I'll ask you the same thing. Costing paper is done means done. Now the mindset is to prepare super duper well for costing. It is really scoring. I teach taxation. You all have attended my Sarthi batch also, right? Okay. So I know how taxation it is. It is very interesting, very lively, very dynamic, but little vast. So there's a technique to study tax. Costing is super duper scoring. So a lot of presentation skills, paper pattern, all is already discussed along with your MTP 1 and 2, just uploaded few days back. Okay, so check that. And in all the WhatsApp and Telegram group, I have uploaded all the playlist of all earlier MTPs also. Okay, that is MTP of 1 or 2 attempts earlier. Just 1 minute, dear students. Costing detailed marathon lecture is also there. Rapid revision series, all links I've posted. And today what I'm doing is, you all have heard in my Sarthi batch that my own created booster notes are very, very helpful for repeated revision and revision. Excuse me. 1 day before exam. So that's what we are going to use it right now, and revise all the concepts, okay, formats, formulas. And two things I want you to do, please. One is, these booster notes are there. I hope you all have taken a printout, hardly 24 pages, that too because I started every new chapter on new page. And around printed chapter wise compiler I have given. 72 plus questions are there, 72 to 75 questions, super duper important. Out of that, surely 50 marks paper is going to come. Why I'm saying with so much confidence is because these are all RTP, MTP past exams paper, which will give you exactly the depth required. That's uploaded quite before 2-3 weeks. You have already solved it, so check that once. But they are very nice repeatedly asked questions. Sure, we'll work it out for taxation also, like this. Okay, rapid revision batch, definitely. What you need, you say, I will do it for all of you. Chalo, without taking much time, let us directly go with the first chapter. First chapter, don't just leave it lightly. 10 marks is the weightage of first chapter. Okay, I can directly start with material and cost sheet, but it's very important in the theory question. If you are going to attempt in choice, question number 1, 5 into 4 marks is compulsory. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have to attempt any 14 marks question, right? Okay, all that is discussed in your paper pattern. So last theory questions, they are asking you this: distinguish between cost reduction and cost control. I'll share my screen so that you can check the things in a better way. Right. So we are in the first chapter right now. This is Sarthi material. If it is there with you, I'm going directly in the sequence only. So that, and of course, sequence may isliye because like we know compulsory questions are asked from material and labor chapter. So let us revise those formats also. I know some time constraint from my side. That's why I could not say कि आराम से घर जाके सो जाओ और हम रात में marathon करेंगे. I have some constraints here also with me. So let us work out best what I can do with all of you. Okay? Right. So in the cost sheet, very important is this distinguish between cost reduction and cost control. Just recently, Sarthi batch videos are also uploaded in the YouTube for costing. So there this is discussed. Cost reduction is in the present situation what you can do, and cost control is futuristic. Can I reduce it permanently or not? Okay. After this, distinguish between cost accounting management. Yeah, this one is important. What is the limitation of the cost accounting? Ma'am, we have financial accounts and we have that purchase and sale and all the details. Why do we need cost accounting? So we do need. Okay. Then it is installation of the cost accounting ke liye, what are the essential requirements? Okay. Right. So that depends upon the, okay. If you want to check the answer also in the pointers, limitations of the cost accounting is it is expensive. In accounts, we record purchase and sale. In costing, goods receipt note, then there, then PO, then purchase order, then material requisition. So many people and documentation will also increase. Okay. Requirement of the reconciliation, costing and financial profits don't tally. That's why we have integrated accounts. I'll go in the sequence. Those who want to know how I'm going to go is, I'll take after this material, labor, overhead, cost sheet, non-integrated. This is the flow I will go because these are most important chapters. Again, I'm saying just 15 minutes of video you check of MTV November 23. You will get the paper pattern and ABC analysis, which I don't want to take time now. So it's going to be expensive. Requirement of reconciliation if you maintain costing and accounts book separate. Lot of duplication, paperwork, more staff required. Inefficiency may be there. You need to reconcile, and there may be coordination differences and conflicts between the two departments. So these are the limitations. Then one essential requirement of good cost accounting system is it should be simple, informative, accurate, okay, trustworthy, and so on. This comes like a booster. Imagine you getting 56 marks and 4 marks if you get here in question, last question, then definitely you're going to score like anything. They will ask you ki what is the type of the industry and what is the type of costing they follow, what is the unit of measure they follow. ठीक है? तो cost units, for example, if it is a cement industry, then ton per bag, that's the unit of measure. And what type of costing they will follow, that also I have given here. Then types of cost may, they can ask you what is the conversion cost, whatever raw material you convert in the work in progress and finished goods. Okay. I know like some of the students are, ma'am, why did you start with the theory? Please don't leave this topic. At least thoda to dekh ke jao. Chalo. Now what I'm taking is very important, which is going to come in overhead chapter. It is going to come in cost sheet. It is going to come in operating costing. Now what is this? Whenever there is a semi-variable overhead, in the semi-variable overhead, what is variable overhead and what is fixed overhead, that you have to decide. Now how you are going to decide? Okay. So this is a concept and working I'm showing you in 5 minutes. Use it and you will surely get the stepwise marks. Okay. Working, do it there itself. This is not accounts की पूरा problem होने के बाद आप working करोगे बेटा. ठीक है? Now, January, your overhead is 260. February, it is 300. Is it same? No. That means it's not a fixed cost. Now, 100 ke liye, if it is 260, for 140, it is how much? You all know one thing, fixed cost is constant in total. Variable cost is constant per unit. So now if 100 units, I'm just teaching some concept which is there in cost sheet. Overhead, as I said, तो बहुत important is copy कर लो, है ना. Operating costing, everything students do correctly. I've corrected more than 76 papers of MTP now, bundle. But the semi-variable overhead segregation, they do mistake. Don't do that, dear students. 100 units के लिए अगर 260 है तो per unit it is how much? 2.6. Now 140 into 2.6 comes to how much? 364. That means this is not even variable overhead. This is not even fixed overhead. What is this, dear students? Semi-variable overhead. In semi-variable overhead, ध्यान से सुनो, listen to this. In semi-variable overhead, there's an element of variable overhead which is changing with units. The more units you produce, the more your variable overhead will change. Fixed overhead is constant. So when semi-variable overhead is changing, this change is only the variable part. Fixed cost तो constant है. अब देखो 2 minute में हो जाएगा. Just in 2 minutes we'll complete this concept and it's so beautiful. What is the change in cost? 40. Divide by change in quantity, 40. This is called as your variable cost per unit. Are you all with me? Now, can I say for 100 units, if 100 is the variable cost, fixed cost will be how much? 160. For 140 units, if 1 per unit is the variable cost, fixed cost is how much? 160. Now, suppose next year, March, May, I am producing 180 units. What will be my variable cost? 180. What will be my fixed cost? 160. What will be my total cost? 180 and 160, that is 340. Are you all with me? Will you use this formula everywhere, wherever you get? Huh? Done. And then they can ask you units of measure like this. Some execution of works you are doing, like which method of costing? Contract. What will be the cost unit per contract? Okay. Rendering of services. Which type of costing? Operating. Hospital hai to per patient, per bed, per ton, per kilometer, and so on. So like this, mark this table, very important. Take a screenshot if you want. Super duper important. Out of this, 4 marks will come in Monday's exam. Any doubt until now? Yeah. Yes, we have already done this and now this is a revision class. So I think this is the way we need to go. That's all for the first chapter. This question is already repeated twice. Write a short note on cost accounting with the use of IT. And all clear to all of you? Yeah? Right. Chalo. Now let us take up material chapter. Material chapter, I would go from my booster notes. अच्छा इसमें कॉस्ट शीट दिया है क्या पहले? ठीक है, but we'll start with material. Now material question comes in question number 1 only for 5 marks for sure. Either EOQ problem will come in the material chapter or they will ask you to compute the purchase cost. That's why I've given you the compiler. Any doubt you have, click the picture, send me a voice note in the Telegram group, in the WhatsApp challenges group, concept classes challenges group. I'll surely clear it for all of you. So chalo, material chapter. You just check the super quick revision videos. Their material chapter is revised in 1 hour along with the problems. Now, if I go like this, it will take very long. This class I have planned is I will give you all the concepts and formulas and formats so that you practice past exam RTPs, MTPs and study material if you have marked the important questions. Okay? And any doubts you have, any doubts, click the picture, send me the topic at least properly so that I can clear it by voice note. Okay? Chalo. Material chapter, we are in the booster notes right now. What are booster notes for some of you who don't know? These are the gist notes for clarity. What do you mean by EOQ? Economic order quantity. how much should I order so that my ordering cost, whenever we place order, ordering cost, and then after I get the stock, my carrying cost of holding the inventory, rent of the godown, interest and all is least. So for that we use the formula under root EOQ is 2AB by C. This has gone that side. A is annual consumption, B is ordering cost per order, C is carrying cost per unit per annum. बेटा यहाँ पे गड़बड़ नहीं करना. Some of the students are doing some correct, but if the carrying cost is given per month, they miss to multiply by 12. है ना? So let us take it correctly. So this is the EOQ. Now along with this they will give, suppose your EOQ comes to 5,000 units. At 5,000 units, what is the, I think with this, if I can open my regular class notes also, that will be very clear to all of you. 1 minute. Sarthi batch notes for material chapter. Yeah, I think this, if we can just very quickly revise from here also with the example, it will be clear to you. Okay. See, lot size problem. EOQ. EOQ for this problem has come to 200. Okay. I've solved all RTP, MTP's questions only. Past exams paper. So suppose EOQ has come to 200. At EOQ, ordering and carrying cost will be least also, equal also. How do you get it? Purchase price, P, into the annual requirement, 5,000 units, which you used in the EOQ. And now carrying cost is Q by 2 into C. Don't think it as a formula. Q by 2 is what? Carrying cost by 2. Huh? If you have 200 units, anytime average stock in your godown will be 2, no? Right? I'm just checking if I can use some. Oh, but then, ठीक है, चलो. 1 second, dear students. So this is your purchase price. At 200 units, your purchase price is 20 and 5,000 units you need. Here, by mistake, if you take Q, 200 units gone. 200 is your EOQ, how much to order. But A is your annual requirement. Now, what is the carrying cost? 200 by 2. Average, you will have 100 units in your godown into C. Ordering cost is A by Q into B. Now, don't think all these are numbers. A by Q. A is annual requirement. Q is 5,000 units. You need 200. So, 5,000 by 200 is giving you number of orders. 25 orders into ordering cost. Can you see? At EOQ, the cost is 1,800,000 least also and equal also, right? Can you put some message if you're watching this live? All clear until now? Now, instead of this, they are saying if you buy 250 units, they will give you a discount in the purchase price. Okay? So now same 20 rupees mein jo aa raha tha, that you are getting at 12.8. Can you see? Yeah? Because you are ordering 250 units. Now in your godown, 250 units by 2. Yeah? If carrying cost is based on the purchased cost, with the carrying cost, the purchased cost will also change if they say. I hope you are getting. On purchase, 20% is the carrying cost. Ma'am, but purchase price was 20. Now it has become 12.8. So will the carrying cost also change? Answer is yes. Okay, I have written a note for it. Star mark karke, if you change, write a note. Ordering cost is A by Q into B. 5,000, this time 250 units at a time you are ordering into 60. So this is it. Now tell me. Ma'am, you said EOQ is best, but EOQ to aisi taisi ho gayi. Now what we are going to buy? 250 units. Why? Because even though at 250 units, your other cost may increase or decrease or whatever it may be, but your purchase cost is drastically reduced. So discount is so high to absorb all this, and so you will go for the discount policy. See, again in the next problem, your EOQ is 200 units. This will come for 5 marks. That's why I'm explaining thoda sa zyada. Huh? So 500, 200 units you are buying. Now, instead of that, if you buy 4,000 units, the purchase price is changing. They are reducing. So, purchase mein you are getting the discount. But instead of 200, now you have to hold 4,000 units. Your carrying cost will go up. Your ordering cost will come down. So, your overall cost is increasing. In spite of discount and purchase price, overall cost is increasing. So, don't go for the discount policy. So like this, they can give you EOQ and work out the comparative cost. I have worked left to right study materials doing vertically, but if you write the formula and all correctly, you will get marks. Second type of popular problem, I call it as AS2 problem, is purchase price. What you should record in your books minus the trade discount. Trade discount is never a part of the purchase price. Add toll, freight, carriage inward, insurance, custom duty and GST, you add it to the purchases if you are not taking input tax credit. Huh? Packing cost, deposit if you have paid and refund you have got it, whatever is the difference you have paid that. This is the purchase cost. You have purchased 1,000 units, but 100 got destroyed, normal loss. Damaged, destroyed. So this is to be absorbed by good units, 9,900. This you will get the per unit cost. Ma'am, exactly same we did in process costing. Cost per good unit is total cost minus normal loss scrap value divided by total quantity minus the normal loss quantity. Is this the formula for process costing? Yes, ma'am. Is this the formula in material chapter? Yes. Is this the formula in AS2? Yes. Okay? But if you are paying some abnormal charges like demurrage charges and cash discount is never a part of our purchases. Okay? So these are the two ways they can ask you the question. I am just referring to the example because I feel necessary every time it's not required. Okay? Right. Now, can they ask you levels of stock? EOQ is how much to purchase. Reorder levels are at what level we should place the order. So, reorder level is maximum usage into the maximum lead time. This is the level at which you should place the order. Minimum level is reorder level minus the average. What is significance is also asked for one marks 4 question. 2 बार आ चुका है. Where? In last question. Last question. Every question is for 16 marks, no? First one is 20 and then, 20 marks. So 5 marks, 4 questions. There they are asking this. Maximum level is reorder level plus reorder quantity. Reorder quantity is EOQ minus minimum. Average is maximum minimum divided by 2. Do you remember? If they ask you for insurance, what level you will maintain? Average. Average stock for insurance. You know, when we hypothecate with bank and we take the CC facility, which account? So sometimes, ma'am, kya calculate karna tha, pata hi nahi tha. So you have to calculate the average level. Danger level is like immediately repurchase. Minimum usage into the minimum lead time. Okay? Right. Stores ledger problem, they might ask you FIFO, LIFO, weighted average and all. You remember stores ledger, receipt triple column, quantity and amount and all. Payment triple column and balance also triple column. So whenever you maintain stores ledger, you have to maintain some rules, and that rule says purchase return should be recorded at original purchase. Ma'am, but I am following first in, first out. But if that old purchase is going back to the creditor, whatever rate it has come, just issue it. Okay? Right. And next, issue to production house should be recorded according to the method FIFO, LIFO, all. Okay. Return from the production. Sometimes production floor is having extra and they will return. And irrespective of the methods and all they are used. So suppose what will happen, 1 second, dear students, just wait. Thank you for waiting. Chalo. So whenever from production floor the goods are coming back, they should be issued first. So I issued 5 units, but production ke liye 4 use hai. So 1 unit is received back. Again, you reissue that unit first. No entry is recorded when there are transfers from one job to another job. Okay. Normal shortage is absorbed in good units means I have 10 units at 100. 1 unit got damaged in the godown. Now 9 units at 100. So this is normal loss absorbed by good units. Abnormal loss, you have to record it at the issue column. Because abnormal loss ke against we have insurance and all. From your ratios, sometimes they are asking you stock turnover ratio, cost of the material consumed divided by average stock and all. That's all for material chapter. Okay. Either they will ask you EOQ or they will ask you purchase. So how did you find this revision? Can you comment below? Is the speed fine? And I've discussed some example also. Ma'am, after you finish, what we should do? Okay, after I finish, you can keep this revision video open. And like I have revised material in 15-20 minutes, I took to revise material chapter. So in the compiler, past exam papers, RTPs, MTPs, sometimes RTP problems are too lengthy, which are not required. I have not taken that, but important ones in a flow I have given. Can you just check all that? Huh? It will not take more than 3 to 4 hours in put together. And then study material, important problems you have marked. Theory questions, I'll take it simultaneously. I will cover. Chalo, let us go to the labor. Labor, either they will ask you row and hull say question, all they 90% of chances of getting those methods, the flux method and separation method of overtime. So let us directly start with labor cost per unit. Total wages divided by number of units. What is the labor cost per hour? Total wages by productive hours worked. I might have paid you 5,000 rupees for 5,000 hours, but 250 hours you wasted. So 5,000 rupees I gave you for how many effective productive hours? 4750. I'm concentrating on the pitfalls. I'm not saying ki yehi galti hote. That doesn't look good. I don't want to demotivate you. You all have attended, so many of you Sarthi costing batch you have attended. In the app, videos are there. You have learned the revision videos, and one long marathon is also there. You can watch the comments below that marathon. Students have scored marks like anything. So make sure you trust me, and I'm taking you exactly what is required, nothing more than that. Chalo. Now, Rowan and Halsey are called bonus plan. Along with hourly rate, to motivate them, can we pay extra wages? Yes. So Rowan says actual hours into rate. This is basic wages. And whatever time they have saved. What is the time saved? Actual hours minus standard hours. Actual hours are 6 hours. Standard hours are 8. Wow, you saved 2 hours for me. And what is our rate per hour? So can we give whatever time he has saved 2 hours at the rate of 10, that is 20 rupees, we can share that bonus with employee in the ratio of actual hours by standard hours. Agreed with me? Actual hours by standard hours. Nice and clear to all of you? Yes, right? So Rowan says whatever is the time saved, for that whatever are the wages, you dear employee take that wages in the ratio of actual hours by standard hours. Nice. Halsey says basic wages is same, actual hours into rate, and whatever is time saved into rate, whatever is the bonus benefit to the company, 50% he will take. Ma'am, but in exam they said Halsey premium 70%, Halsey premium 30%. If the company's policy is different, if they give different, you can take that. ठीक है? So many of you are watching, one chapter is over. I'll do very fast batch costing, job costing. There's a different technique. So if you have any doubt, tell me, because like Rowan, Halsey, EOQ, these don't escape. And in exam, can we make sure that you are attempting whatever you know best in 1.5 hours? You have how many? 3 hours. That is 180 minutes. And how many marks? 100 marks. We'll write 100 marks and 180 minutes. Correct है ना? तो आपके पास 1.8 मिनट है ना? मैथ्स बरोबर है नहीं है? You have 1.8 minutes for every problem. Okay? 1.8 minute for every 1 mark. So imagine if it is a 5-mark problem, you should not take more than 9 minutes. And there will be problem where ma'am for 5 marks I have spared एक छोटा सा what do you call marginal costing problem for 5 marks. I spared 13 minutes, but somewhere you will do it fast also. So don't worry about that. Huh? Chalo. Okay, take a pause and tell me without looking at it. Do you know the formula? What is Halsey? Actual hours into rate, basic wages. Halsey says 50% of the time saved into rate. What is time saved? Huh? Actual hours minus standard hours. That's time saved. Now 50% you take. Who is saying? Halsey. What Rowan is saying? Time saved, no? Multiplied by actual hours by standard hours. This you take. Bye bye. Now, C for costing, C for creativity. Can they give you the total wages ready for Halsey and Rowan? And H is missing. What is H? Actual hours. What is R? Rate is missing. SH is missing. What is SH? Standard hours. Or this employee is getting wages. I said because this is very important topic. See. ये सब सारथी बैच के नोट्स हैं, but I'll share with all of you. And all the problems, November 22, November 23, RTP, MTP. 1 minute, I'll show you how to check that better. ये देखो, Halsey says basic wages is same. Bonus, you give it like this, 50%. This is the crux. Rowan says bonus, actual hours into the standard rate, you give it. Now, sometimes, can they say, according to Rowan, this is the wages? Can he get same wages as per Halsey and all? Yes. See, this is November 22 question. Time rate, piece rate, Halsey and Rowan. 5 marks. It's going to come very easy. Either they will ask you Halsey, Rowan, or compute the total wages with PF, ESIC or that flux method. Huh? तो ये chapter easy है. Anyone thinking that I will leave the labor chapter, just attend 45 minutes of separate rapid revision I have taken, super quick revision video. This is the enough flow. I'm revising all the formats and concepts. Huh? So at least if you want to leave everything in labor, do Halsey and Rowan. Do flux method, 5 marks. Question is compulsory, but not compulsory to attempt first. So attempt in first 1.5 hours, that question which you're confident you know it. Now if I say like this, now, ma'am, cost sheet में किसी को 6 से ज्यादा मार्क्स नहीं मिलते 10 में. पता है क्यों? Because you park it at wrongly. I'll tell you when we go to cost sheet chapter. So do it better, but take care of the pitfalls. Chalo. Now look at this question, please. R is missing in this. We know what are the wages and all. So by making the equation, can we find R? Yes. Labor turnover. What is labor turnover? Employees joining and leaving, right? So replacement method, number of employees who went against that some other came. That's replacement method, divide by average. Are there going to be replacement? Yeah. A 10% replacement is healthy sign. Acha hai. That same people, instead of working, let some people retire or go, let some new people join, all fine. Done. Now, that's replacement method. But if it's very high, we need to check where is the problem. Separation method, number of employees gone but no one came, divide by average, that is separation. And this one is so pumping hard. Flux method. Flux method is number of employees replaced plus separated plus joined. Sub, what is the change in the organization? Replacement. Some went, some came. Separated, some just went, bye bye. And newly recruited. All this divide by average number of employees into 100. Average number is opening, closing, divide by 2. Now, one question in May 23 RTP, it can come in November 23 actual exam. This video is very helpful for CMA students also, where they don't have to study. I'll tell you, like process costing, you don't have process profit. So that part you can skip. Okay? Chalo, abhi ye dekho. Sometimes, like flux method, answer is ready given to you. Huh? Here, separation method answer is ready given, 8%. And they will ask you some missing figure, opening or closing. So can you do that? Yes, see. Replacement method answer is there, 8%. And 72 employees are replaced. But you don't know what's average. So you found out what is average, 900. And now you can use and complete the other problems. Huh? Are you all getting it? Is my speed fine? Can some of you comment? Give another. Okay, right. So, just a second, dear students. Just wait, dear students. I need to keep the live chat on and there's little disturbance. Till then, you please comment. Is my speed fine? Or should we go little slow or little fast? हाँ लेकिन रात रात को जाग के मैं क्लास नहीं ले सकती. There are bedridden patient at my home and that's why I'm taking little early. I know you must be tired after writing the law exam for 3 years. That's why I said this is just the concept, no? Listen. Chalo. Next kind of problems for all of you is earning per hour. Okay? So an employee is getting basic. He's getting DA. He's getting allowances. Okay? This is the total earning. Out of that, he himself is contributing to PF ESIC. So what is the net earning he's taking home divided by number of hours? Huh? That is his earning. But suppose what is the cost to employer? Employer is giving you basic DA allowance and employer is giving to you 100 rupees. He's putting 12 rupees in PF and ESIC also, no? So what is his cost? 112. Divide by total hours minus idle hours. So effective hours, 112 rupees he is giving you for 8 hours. But 1 hour is going in lunch break and all. So for 7 hours. So what is effective hourly rate? In short, gist is when they ask you to calculate earning per hour for employee, then basic DA allowances and whatever is the PF ESIC वो minus करना है. And if they ask you company's cost, you have to add. Because obviously company is giving you 100 rupees in your pocket, take your wages. And additional 12 rupees they are putting in your PF. So they are spending for you 112. Okay? Right. So like this, they can ask you the problem basic, DA, bonus, other allowances and employer's contribution, and so on. Chalo. Okay, one overtime problem is also there in the study material. If you can check that, write down in your note, check study material overtime problem. I've told you many times that mark and keep the problems. So you have already marked, I assume, study material में है, concept class के material में भी अगर coaching लिया है, नहीं लिया है तो कोई problem नहीं है. Study material it में they say that weekly, if they work for more than 48 hours, you need to pay them. Okay, at 1.5 times like that overtime, and daily if they work for more than 9 hours you have to pay them extra. Okay, right? Exactly 15 minutes we took. So check this booster notes for Rowan Halsey. Study material, one question is also there where Rowan premium plan is most effective. Halsey is saying pay 50%. Rowan is saying pay in proportion. So beyond the limit, employee can't say, "Arey, jitta more time I will save, I will earn more." See, total wages is basic DA allowances, PF all. And if it is earning, PF and ESIC minus. If it is total wages for company, PF, ESIC, you add it. Are all the formulas clear? Replacement by average number, separation by average. What is flux is also called as accessions. Number of employees separated, replaced, and newly joined, all you have to take. That's all for labor chapter. Let us go to overhead. Okay, overhead, more chances of getting 5 marks question, that if there is under absorption, can you absorb more overhead for whatever units are in stock, whatever are sold and all, a kind of like integrated costing, huh? Integrated I'll do. You do these topics, you will score super well. Material, labor, overhead, cost sheet, integrated में खास करके reconciliation, operating costing. Marginal costing comes in question number 1 only. Huh? Okay, right? And after this, in choice, you will get the question for budgeting, for job costing, for standard costing, for process. It's just my suggestion, if you can avoid solving process and activity based costing if they give together. मैम ये क्या बोल रहे हैं एग्जाम के अगले दिन? The simple reason is both are time consuming for working. So 10 marks, 20 marks is your each question, 5 into 4 first question compulsory, then 10 plus 10 ऐसे आपको 4 question करना है. So in that questions, if they give process costing and with that activity based costing, both ka working is lengthy. But if you miss that in choice, then compulsory last theory question, 5 marks, 4 question you have to attempt. In that, first 2 are going to be from chapter 1, distinguish between cost reduction control, what are the essential requirements, what is sunk cost, what is discretionary cost sheet, and so on. Shall I start with overhead? Overhead recovery rate. Generally, they ask you. Overhead recover, machine hour rate. Machine का पूरा cost लिखते हैं ना? Now, in this one pitfall here is institute itself is not fixed how they are taking fixed and variable. So if you're confused, it's okay. You take the total and then divided by the denominator. When I'm going to teach you the overhead recovery rate, it's as if we are doing operating costing. Can I say one thing in common? All of you, dear students, operating costing or the machine hour recovery rate, you have to prepare triple column, particulars, sum working, and amount. Question is, ma'am, shall we prepare operating costing and the machine hour for 1 month or 6 months or 1 year? That depends, dear students, on the denominator. Like if you check MTP of the CMA students, right now they have issued the MTP for the December attempt. And there they have said that prepare the operating cost sheet for a hotel, 6 months, 80% occupied, 6 months, 60%. means the denominator is for the year. So you have to take the numerator, all expenses for the year. If they give you that effective hours worked by the machine are per month 200 hours, then numerator you have to take per month. Ma'am, but license depreciation is for 12 months. Can you divide by 12? Yes. So go uniformly. अगर एक फिगर इधर उधर हो गया, the total will go wrong. But I really appreciate most of the students are clear about the presentations and the working. The presentation, what is struggling in tax is not a problem here. When I take tax marathon, I'll tell you, but it's quite good. Only thing is don't do extra workings. ठीक है? चलो. So now you are clear कि machine rate कैसे करना है. Now first thing is we need to apportion the overhead. So for that, I'm checking this. This is my Sarthi problems which are solved, and very nice problems I've taken. Like this is study material problem only. I'll see if orally I can revise because machine hour rate comes for 10 marks and it is super scoring. Are you all with me? Did you take a printout of the booster notes? If not, no problem. Now take it. When you have hard copy, there's a different level of learning, dear students. Yeah. Now, when we talk about the, see, this is all the syllabus to be covered. So when we talk about the machine, our machine overhead chapter, whatever, these are my 3 production department, these are my service department. So whatever overhead I need to allocate directly to that department, I will do. Okay, allocation. What do you mean by allocation? Directly, this is expense of production department 2. This is expense of service department. Service department are giving service to the production department. Okay, right. So allocation is directly, say I have purchased 50,000 spares. It's an expense here. Followed all of you? Huh? Done. So allocation. Now what is apportionment? If they give you that we have paid rent of the factory 50,000. Now that factory may, some square feet is used by the production department, some is used by the service department and so on. Are you all with me? Yeah. So apportionment is based on some basis. Can we apportion the expense? Ma'am, we have just done this in departmental accounts in accounts. We have done this in pre and post incorporation. An account says the exam is over just 3 days back. So you remember what is apportionment? Common expenses. Say depreciation of machine can be apportioned in all the 3 based on the time machine is used. Yes. Now what is reapportionment? There are 4 methods of reapportionment. Direct and step down method is hardly asked, but simultaneous equation repeated distribution is asked for 10 marks. And if you understand, it's like 10 out of 10 marks. Huh? Chalo. Why to do reapportionment? Ultimately, who is going to produce the number of units? P1, P2, P3. Canteen, it's giving service. Is it producing anything? No. So, canteen expenses, service expenses can be apportioned to the production? Yes. What is direct method? Directly allocate service expense to production on some basis given. Done? Okay. One more thing I want to say. Some students, when I start with material, labor, and overhead, oh God, heavy dose chapter. There's always an easy way out, dear students. My class could have been very interesting if I would have taken cost sheet, integrated accounts first. So if you're going with these chapter, digest and go, it will take time, but then they are weightage wise, they are very important. Material and labor comes for 5 and 5 marks in question number 1 and super scoring repeatedly asked question. I've just put the compiler again in the Telegram group, check there. Overhead thoda sa patience lagega. Normally also if I complete other classes in 3 classes for overhead, I'm taking regularly only 6 classes. तो टाइम लगेगा, बट देन लेटर पार्ट विल बी इजी. सो व्हाट डू यू वांट टू डू? फर्स्ट द बिगर जंबोज को खा जाए, फिर छोटे छोटे, या पहले ही छोटे छोटे करके खुश हो जाए और फिर जंबोज बाकी है? आई एम द फर्स्ट कैटेगरी. यू कमेंट बिलो. हाँ, राइट. So now, service department expense. Can you apportion directly? Yes. Can you apportion service expense to other services also? Step down method. And what is simultaneous equation? So one service department is giving to another, another is giving to this, but it is, both are giving service to each other. So can we make like P and Q are two service department. P's own expenses 4,000, but 20% of Q is coming to P. Q's own overhead is 2,600, but then 10% of P also. So like this, you can solve the simultaneous equation, replace it and solve it. Or can we do for the same problem repeated distribution? 4,000 का 10% दे दो, 3,000 का 20%, again 10%, again till they become nil. Repeated distribution method. Simultaneous. So finally, P and Q have become nil. And A, B, C, what is the total overhead? This. Divide by total number of units. Total overhead divide by total number of units, labor hours, machine hours, and all. It's not a break. When I give break after 5 chapters, I'll tell you material, labor, overhead, cost sheet, and non-integrated. Then I'll give you the break. Okay, right. Just 2 minutes, I'll come back, check this question. All right. So did you check this problem? Huh? 10 marks they are asking repeated distribution simultaneously. Ma'am, I like simultaneous, so I solve. No, please, if they ask you clearly simultaneous or repeated distribution or trial and error. Trial and error is same like repeated distribution, but in repeated we are apportioning 4,000 to all. 30%, 40%, 20%. Again, that ratio is given. In trial and error, we are doing it only for the that service department. Answer is going to be same. Okay, chalo. Second type of the question which is asked here. Oh, here only I can explain that better. Machine hour rate. Recent exam. This is coming in question number 1, dear students. So no escape for all of you. What is machine hour rate? Related to machine, I have some fixed cost like depreciation, driver's salary, and all. Some variable cost. Now, can I know what is the per hour rate of the machine which is used? So, machine related expenses, depreciation, power, supervision, wages. Now, very careful here, be it like 125 per hour. So, 200 hours. Why did I divide it by 8? Because it is the 8 hours they are working. Huh? So 200 are the total hours and 8 hours. So 125 divided by number of days. Wages of helper. Plus they are paid DA. Both of them. 1575 DA to the machine man, come the helper. divide by, and they are given the leave salary 10% of this, production bonus 1/3 of this. So this is their wages. Generally, this part goes wrong for students. I'm exactly giving you the questions which are asked. And if you feel this video is helpful, do message me. After your exam, to start preparing for costing. Don't worry to answer me back there itself ki kaisa gaya paper. I don't want any analysis. Once the paper is done, focus is ki main tax or GST kaise padhu. But after the exams are over, do comment below the video. That would be like Guru Dakshina from all of you. Huh? ठीक है समझ में आया the same kind of the problem is asked again and again if you check the trend from years. So just calculate it. And ma'am, should it be per month or per year? How do we come to know? I told you, dear students, here they have given you machine hours are 200, but you are working 75%, right? So effective machine hours are rate. So this machine hours are 200 per month. That's why all the cost also I have taken per month. Is this clear to all of you? Right. Chalo. Same way, one more question we have solved. Ye God. I did lot of more practice in the Sarthi batch because these kind of the problems are good. Now supplementary rate. Suppose your factory overhead absorbed is 1 lakh, but actual factory overhead is 150. So 50,000 is under absorbed. These are like free 5 marks. Free 5 marks. Ma'am, what you are doing? I finished with the methods of apportionment. I finished with the machine hour rate. I'm going to the third type of the question, treatment of under over absorption in costing. So factory overhead absorbed 10,000 units into 10, 1 lakh. This is, it is absorbed at predetermined rate, but actual factory overhead is 1 lakh 50,000. So under absorption is 50,000. Yeah, when under absorption is 50,000, then in 50,000, 25,000 around is lockdown, strike, and abnormal reason, which will go to PNN account. Remaining 25,000 is under absorbed. If you go to the cost sheet, factory overhead is absorbed in work in progress. Through work in progress, it's absorbed in finished goods. Through finished goods, it's absorbed in the cost, what do you call it? Cost of goods sold. So can I say if factory overhead you had to charge 15, by mistake you charged 10, 5 rupees you have charged less. This 5 rupees part is in stock with you. Part is sold, bye-bye. And part is work in progress in the factory. Work in progress is like a production house. What I'm saying will be very clear when I go to the most easiest and scoring topic called as non-integrated accounts. I'm telling you, I could have made class lucrative with non-integrated and cost sheet and interesting topics. But for your benefit, weightage wise, when we know material, labor, overhead are important, I feel we should go like this, है ना? चलो तो देखते हैं. सप्लीमेंट्री ओवरहेड रेट 5 marks are yours. ठीक है, शुरू करें. ये देखो, 50,000 you have under absorbed, so 25,000 is abnormal reason. Done. And now remaining 25,000 are under absorbed. Closing stock is 5,000 units. In that, factory overhead is less. Work in progress is 3,000 units. Their factory overhead is less. Work in progress is 6,000 units, but they are 50% complete. So equivalent completed units. And those which are sold, bye-bye. There also factory overhead is under absorbed. So total 10,000 units and 25,000 under absorbed, 2.5 per unit can be charged to finished goods, to work in progress, to cost of sales. Super. Supplementary overhead rate, 6 problems I do in one regular class and it's done. For sure. Followed all of you? Huh? ये देखो पूरे वैसे, these are all the same problems, 1, 2 and 3. Study material, 11th problem. I felt it's repeated, so I have done. Out of 6 lakhs, factory overhead actually incurred 45 and 30 is for lockout and also fine and 25. But absorbed is predetermined rate, machine hour rate 480. So 45,000 is under absorbed. 1/3 they said is because of the faulty planning. So 30,000. And how many units are there in the finished goods? 20,000 units were produced, 18 are sold. So 2,000 units are there in stock. 8,000 units are there in work in progress, which are 50% complete. So equivalent units, 4,000. Sold units are 18,000. Okay? So 18 and 2, 20 and 4, 24. So 30,000 divided by 24, 1.25 is the supplementary overhead rate. Can I absorb finished goods? Yes. Work in progress? Yes. Sold? Yes. Right. Journal entries if they ask. Okay, these are all. That's all for the overhead chapter. So we have completed chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. Chapter 1 is also very important. Just let us see the booster notes also once for the overhead chapter, and they are already there with you. Identify overhead, segregate them into fixed and all, allocate directly, then apportion, then reapportion. Okay, right. When service department is giving service only to production and not taking back, then they can go with direct method or step down method and all. What is blanket rate overhead divided by number of hours? Methods of apportion, rent and all, floor area, light points, depreciation, insurance, repairing expense of asset based on value of asset, machinist horsepower, indirect wages based on direct wages. So like this, I think this table is already clear. Acha, reapportionment of service department to the production department. Canteen and all based on number of workers, timekeeping based on number of employees. They'll give an exam. What basis you have to do. And under over absorption, just charge it. If it is over absorption, you can reverse it also. Yes. Chalo. Let us go to the next topic, that is non-integrated overhead. I think before I take non-integrated, because it's a linked topic with the cost sheet, we will do cost sheet first. फिर non-integrated, फिर उसमें reconciliation. 1 minute. Where did the cost sheet topic go? I think cost sheet is printed first in the booster notes. Because normally we take it first. Here it is. Yes. Ma'am, does it come in every exam? Yes, for 10 marks. कोई choice नहीं है. मतलब you have choice. It comes in question number 2, 3 like that. Types of costing may escape, but this will surely come in the exam. Types of costing may escape. कभी-कभी ना contract costing hardly comes for 2, 3 marks or doesn't come. Operating might not come. Job batch might not come. Or batch may come in question number 1 EBQ. होता है. But like this comes in the exam. Okay. Chalo, let us take it. Cost sheet. Just read the format. Okay. Cost sheet में what mistake it happens is every student is doing cost sheet. In exam, no one is leaving it in choice, but the parking goes wrong. So cost sheet starts with raw material consumed, opening stock of raw material purchase. Now here if freight comes, no, the students are writing it in direct expenses. But if the freight is related to raw material, it will come here. If there is scrap of raw material, deduct it here. Ma'am, but you said scrap will go down. Yeah, it will go down, but utna bhi nahi. I'll tell you. That is scrap of finished goods. So opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock is the raw material consumed. Then we have direct labor. Then we have direct expenses. So we have prime cost. Now what comes in direct labor and expenses, I will teach you now. ये बहुत जरूरी है. Out of 10 marks, most of the students end up getting 6 and 7 because the final total is correct, but by mistake they take expenses at a different place. Factory overhead, opening and closing work in progress. Then you have factory cost. Administration overhead only if it is related to the office and all, take it. Otherwise, administrative overhead can go down also. So factory cost. Then all the other cost will also come along with this, and then you get the cost of the production. In cost of the production, add opening stock, you get cost of goods which are available for sale, minus closing stock, you get cost of goods sold. At selling overhead, you get the cost of sales. Okay, in cost of sales and then profit and sales. Okay, now when you prepare the cost sheet, you should know कि factory overhead and administrative overhead is charged for number of units produced, but selling overhead is charged for number of units sold. Okay, raw material closing stock is valued at cost of purchase. Work in progress is valued at factory cost. ये रहा factory cost, यहाँ पे work in progress value है. And finished goods is valued at the cost of production. ये रहा cost of production में opening stock. Ma'am, if they don't give you per unit value of the opening and closing, can we take it at the current cost? Answer is yes. Raw material consumed, take it properly. GST, add it. If ये ना pitfall है exam के लिए, if ITC is input tax credit of GST is not available, you can add GST also to purchases. Sales में if you add closing stock minus opening, you'll get number of units produced, or opening plus number of units produced. Opening 100 थे, production हुआ 500, 600, but now in stock you have 50, means 550 units are sold. Fixed overhead is constant in total. Variable, these are the factors which you will use it. I'll not repeat this again in marginal costing and budgeting. My guesswork budgeting, very nice, and scoring question will come for 10 marks according to the trend. So that also we will take after this. How to segregate semi-variable overhead, I told you in the introduction only. Administrative overhead are charged with selling expenses. If cost is increased, selling price be constant, then profit will decrease. Yeah, for this, I'll show you something. Cost plus profit is selling price. If your cost is 100, listen dear students, a very nice concept I am taking. Are you all listening? Cost कितना है बेटा? 100. Profit कितना है? 20% on cost. What will be selling price? 120. Suppose if it is 20% on sales, जिसके ऊपर percentage है, take it as 100. If it is 20% on sales, take sales as 100, this as 20, and this as 80. Clear to all of you? Tell me, all clear or not? You can use this in all the other chapters also. If importantly, I can say वो freight वाला question आता है ना, operating cost sheet का. If profit is 20% on cost, take cost as 120, 120. If it is 20% on sales, take sales as 100. 20% is profit, then cost will be 80. ठीक है? Right. Sale of scrap, abnormal unit is deducted. ये chapter में ना, I want you all to go to my booster notes. 1 minute. Cost sheet में there are few things which I feel are important for you to know the format beta. 1 minute. Sarthi material में we have done it in detail. Ma'am, do they ask so much detail? Nowadays, they are asking for 10 marks. They are asking ki what will come in the material. See, cost of material, freight, insurance, state discount. This time in one of the recent exam, they ask you scrap of raw material. So scrap of raw material, sale karke, if you have got income, reduce it. Next is direct employee cost. It is labor cost. So direct wages who are working in the factory. If you pay salary to your accountant, it will go in admin. If you take salary to your delivery van, it will go in salary, selling and distribution expense. But generally, what will come here is wages, allowances, payment, bonus, ex gratia. Hmm? Ex gratia remind me recently salary exam, instead of bonus they gave ex gratia and student didn't take it in computing salary. So ex gratia is nothing but bonus only. So you have to take it as taxable. Chalo, costing का paper है, tax नहीं है. Contribution to PF, all will come here. Direct expenses. This list is the first point where I want student to pause, learn, and go for tomorrow. Ma'am, we all know cost sheet very well. Cost sheet, though, we don't want to revise. 10 marks are yours. I trust you on. But my paper correction experience, my booster papers, MTPs, that students are doing mistake. The direct expenses are expenses related to factory. Huh? Cost of utilities, power and fuel, royalty paid is a direct expense. Higher charges of the machine, technical know-how, patents and molds, jigs, dies, what we use, designing, software expenses. These are related to production expenses, direct expenses. ठीक है? Right. Now, after the prime cost, direct material, direct labor, direct expense. Labor में PF, ESIC, bonus, commission, all you take. Huh? I'm sparing little time because I feel this is necessary. So, prime cost at factory overhead. Now, factory overhead will have what? I'll tell you. Yera. Factory overhead may just remember indirect material, indirect wages, like supervisor's salary, packing cartoon के basic जो material, indirect wages, indirect expenses, consumable stores. Direct material has gone up. Peanuts, from which I am making peanuts oil, direct material. But some chemicals to refine it, indirect material, part of factory overhead. Depreciation of factory related building and all. Ma'am, just now you said factory related royalty and all will come here, direct expenses, but factory related depreciation, lease rent, repairs, indirect wages, drawing and designing will come here. Royalty will go up. Now, this is the way they are asking, so we are doing. CMA students, they don't have so much in detail, so they can learn the cost sheet and score 10 out of 10 marks. But CA students, there's a point where you are missing out. एक ये difference है, another difference is in process costing. That I'll tell you when we come to that. Insurance of plant and machinery. So plant and machinery ka depreciation, repairs, insurance will come here. Delivery van ka depreciation, repairs, insurance will go to selling expense, like that. So these are factory overhead. After factory overhead, these are the taglines which are to be added separately just below the factory overhead. Okay, right? What will you do factory overhead ke paas? Right. Yeah, so this, chalo, we'll continue. Yeah, factory cost के नीचे separately you have to write the quality control cost. R&D, R&D is a routine expense for all. Administrative overhead. Are you all with me? Hmm? This is the income. Credit for recoveries. Miscellaneous income is like sale of scrap of finished goods. You know, some finished goods is defective and all, and if you sell it, it will come here. And primary packing. Primary packing comes so much I can't say. So 10 marks question, ma'am, what will come in the cost sheet? All this will come. And out of this, say direct expense में royalty क्या लोगे, factory overhead में क्या लोगे, below the factory overhead. Are you all getting what I'm saying? Factory overhead, these items will come. And if you feel, ma'am, we have not learned it, this format is there in the study material, learn and go. Write down, no? Until now, I have asked you to refer one study material problem for overhead, machine hour rate. Second is this. The list bana lo. Huh? Or pause the video if you're watching the recording and check from study material. Once you get the opening cost of the, okay, where did we lose the link? फिर से एक बार. Factory cost में add quality control cost, R&D, administrative cost, only you add it if it is related to production. Generally, it's not. Any income and primary packing. I can't sell oil like this, no. I need to basically pack it in bottle or sachet. So that primary packing cost is a part after the factory cost. Cost of production. In cost of production, add opening finished goods minus closing finished goods, you will get cost of sales. Cost of sales may add administrative selling overhead, secondary packing. 12 bottles of oil, I put it in cartoon and with my brand name, I send it to the dealers. So secondary packing, distribution expenses, matlab delivery vans, depreciation, repairs, insurance, delivery vans, driver's salary, all will come here. Okay. Here students are all doing correct. The mistake is only there. Acha. What about the salaries and all which is paid to accountant, directors and all? All that will come here only. After the cost of the goods sold. Managing director's remuneration. Ye bhi abhi recent. I've just taken last 5 attempts RTP, MTP, past exam papers. So I am making this confident trend analysis. Selling overhead I have told you, secondary and distribution I have told you. Okay? So that's all for the cost sheet problems, cost sheet format. Okay, I think cost sheet revision is enough. So with the base of the cost sheet, can we go to the non-integrated accounts? Look here. In cost sheet, what you write material, here you make stores ledger. From stores ledger, whatever material goes to the production, work in progress. Wages, direct wages are absorbed in what do you call as factory, this work in progress. Indirect wages will go to factory overhead and from there it will come. So in short, that cost sheet which is made like this is now going to left to right in the cost control ledgers. How? Let us see that. Two type of questions. Either they will give you 10 marks question and they'll ask you to make the cost ledger, which has not come since last 2-3 attempts. So they might ask you. Or 5 marks reconcile the costing and this. That I will tell you in exactly 7 minutes. थोड़ी देर बाद पहले हम cost ledger पढ़ लेते हैं. And second is this reconciliation. What I'm saying. What one more thing I was saying? Yeah. Nowadays, they are asking you 5 marks, 5 journal entries also. Ma'am, journal entries, we don't know how to write. Please don't say this. When you are posting in ledger, stores material issued, stores ledger credit, work in progress debit. Goods sold, then finished goods is credit and GLA, general ledger control account debit. So when you are posting, you are already framing the correct journal entry in your mind. Is this clear to all of you? करें साथ में? चलो. Yeah. Please, your suggestions are welcome. Some of you are saying, ma'am, we should have done cost sheet and integrated. What I felt best I have done, but I'm not here to dominate. You have to write exam day after tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to practice all the compiler questions and the study material important questions which you have marked, that you practice it. Any doubts you have, click the picture, put a voice note, wait for some time, because ongoing Diwali festival and some other class schedules, I'm also having other schedules. तो आप वेट करो, बट आई विल श्योरली क्लियर योर डाउट, राइट? रात में 11 बजे भी, सुबह 6 बजे भी, पक्का. आई विल बी मोर रिपीटेडली चेकिंग माई टेलीग्राम ग्रुप, so you can trust me and see the way I clear the doubt. I'm teaching since years, and this knowledge linking up of the subjects is going to be beneficial for all of you. तो हम क्या कर रहे थे, कॉस्ट शीट के अब प्रॉब्लम्स देखने की जरूरत नहीं है ना. Let us go to the non-integrated accounts, booster notes. Material, labor, overhead we have finished. Reconciliation I'll teach you. Non-integrated accounts, actually I always wish I can give the format, those T format accounts, but for that let us check up this. Factory overhead is always, क्या क्या ledgers बनाते हैं पहले वो देख लो. Stores ledger, that's nothing but the raw material ledger. Opening and closing balance will come. Job and work in progress ledger, yeah. Then finished goods ledger, in which stock of opening stock of finished goods, more from work in progress finished goods will come. Whatever finished goods are sold will go to the cost of goods sold, and closing finished goods. Okay, right. Just give me 2 seconds, dear students. Check. I'll give you the mindset. And you know, everywhere I'm not doing the problems. Like cost sheet, I didn't do any problem. But right now, for sure, I'm doing this problem. I'm going to share with all of you the problem also. Chalo. Let us continue. Yeah, with this we will finish the 50% of the portion, like material, labor, overhead, integrated, cost sheet, and chapter 1. After that, we will take some 3 minutes like that break, and then we will continue with the types of costing. Types of costing, first I'm going to take operating costing. Chalo, abhi ye karte hain. So what is the first ledger? Acha, what do you mean by non-integrated accounts? You know, I can teach this topic for 10 hours. I can teach this topic for 1 hour. And right now I'm doing it in 15-20 minutes. Non-integrated means costing books are separate. But in that, assets, liabilities are not there. You're not having data, creditors, cash, bank, all. So to represent all that, we have general ledger, adjustment account, or cost control ledger account, or like that. And then we have the financial books, and then I'll teach you the reconciliation. Okay? Chalo. So what is the first ledger, sequence of the ledger? I have printed in the booster notes. You all are having this booster notes from the Telegram. Take a print. It's a beautiful hard copy of 20 pages. If you read it repeatedly, you will definitely have good speed and complete your paper on time. Chalo. So now, factory overhead is absorbed in work in progress. Administrative overhead is absorbed in finished goods. Huh? And if administrative overhead is general, it is charged for number of units sold. Ma'am, the same thing you said in cost sheet. That's why I'm saying this is a technique, dear student. Cost sheet and integrated you should study together. Okay? Selling overhead is always absorbed for sales. Now, first you prepare the stores ledger. Stores ledger is transferred in work in progress. From stores, the material is directly going to work in progress. Ma'am, what is work in progress? Work in progress is the production house. work in progress is the production house. So stores ledger is transferred to work in progress. Wages are transferred to work in progress. Which wages? Direct wages. Indirect wages are part of factory overhead. What is factory overhead? Indirect material, indirect wages, indirect expenses. So indirect wages, like the wages of the supervisor and all that will go to factory overhead. Ultimately, factory overhead is absorbed in work in progress. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? आप जैसे बनाओगे ना stores ledger. Okay, I'm not making. I'll show you the problem after this. Stores ledger is transferred to work in progress. Direct wages are absorbed in work in progress. Work in progress is like a production house. Indirect wages are transferred to factory overhead, and factory overhead is transferred to work in progress. Goods which are produced are transferred from work in progress to finished goods. Work in progress is naam se work in progress. So whatever units are finished, bye go to finished goods. Administrative overhead is absorbed in finished goods. Finished goods which are sold are transferred to cost of sales. Selling overhead is also. आप देख रहे हो overhead की जगह कहाँ है? Factory overhead you will make above the finished goods. Administrative overhead above the cost of sales. And selling overhead, that also will go to the cost of the sales. And finally, from cost of sales and sales profit, costing P&L में जो रहेगा, that will be transferred to your GLA and your trial balance will tally. So ledgers, what you have to make is clear. If it is under absorbed, you can charge it by putting the supplementary rate. Stores ledger is carry forward. Work in progress is also carry forward. Finished goods is carry forward. GLA is carry forward on the opposite side. Rest all the overhead ledgers are closed. How, ma'am? Factory overhead is absorbed in work in progress. Administrative overhead is absorbed in finished goods. Selling overhead is absorbed in cost of sales. तो ये खत्म हो गया. ठीक है? Right. Raw material control account will always show a debit balance and so on. This is a repetition, but I feel it's important. Draw the ledgers, write the opening balance, frame journal entry and post it simultaneously. Acha, what will come in integrated ledgers? Along with the stores and work in progress and all, you instead of GLA, you will have data, creta, share capital, cash, bank also. Right. Let me show you one question. है ना, एक देखते हैं. All past exam questions only I have done. 1 minute. Yeah. Cost accounting system. Yeah, please check with me. This is explained in detail. And then I've solved this problem. ये देखो. Stores ledger. You can watch the ये इसका revision video थोड़ा details. We're all solved problem also. I think it's around 48 minutes. Huh? So that also you please check it. It's there in the super quick revision videos. ठीक है? चलो. So stores control ledger opening balance purchase. When I purchase, stores ledger debit, GLA credit. When I issue, stores ledger credit, work in progress debit. If some material I am directly issuing for repairs, stores ledger credit, factory overhead debit. Are you framing journal entry in your mind? Closing balance. Wages. Direct or indirect? When I incur the wages to GLA or cost control. Why? Because I'm not having cash, bank and all. So wages account debit to the cost ledger account. ठीक है? Right. Now, direct wages is absorbed in work in progress. Indirect wages is absorbed in factory overhead. Come to factory overhead. Some indirect material has come from stores 900. Wages has come, indirect wages. Okay. And some factory overhead is actually incurred 95 200. What will be the journal entry? I'm just not reading the problem, but the way I'm explaining, please comment. You all are watching live. I'm not reading the problem, and रीड करके भी अगर मैं पूरा पोस्टिंग बताऊं ना तो एक प्रॉब्लम को ही 15 मिनट लगेगा, एंड आई डोंट वांट टू टेक whole lot of 10 hours marathon. I feel last hour should be left for you all to study the way you wish rather than me dominating. This is just to give you a push, dear students. ठीक है? तो आप you please comment below and tell me the way I'm explaining the problem. Is it clear? In factory, 900 rupees material came, indirect material, indirect wages, and actually 95 200 you incurred. But how much wages are absorbed in the work in progress? 115. So this is under absorption. Under absorption, you can absorb by supplementary rate, the way I taught you in overhead chapter, if they say. Otherwise, under absorption, can you charge to costing P&L? Yes? Right. Yeah, please comment. That will really help me. Zoom में भी chat box on है और आपका ये भी है. YouTube also we are live. चलो. Next is work in progress. Already some work will be in progress in between. Then we have materials, stores se aaya, wages, factory. Ma'am, this is looking like a cost sheet. Yeah, I told you cost sheet is up to down. Integrated ledgers are left to right, down, left to right, down. है ना? ऐसे जाते हैं, नीचे आके ऐसे जाते हैं, ऐसे आते हैं. बस अभी हमको ड्राइंग रंगोली नहीं बनानी है. दिवाली को 10 दिन का टाइम है. चलो. Yes. So, work in progress में already something is there. Material you have added, wages, factory overhead, add opening work in progress minus closing work in. Just look at this. If I say you like this, is it a cost sheet? See, stores ledger. Stores ledger. 40,000 is material plus wages plus factory overhead. This is factory cost. Add opening work in progress minus closing work in progress. Yeah, ma'am, this is a cost sheet. Clear? Right? Chalo. So work in progress is there. And some closing work in progress is still there. And remaining work in progress, it will complete and it will go where? To finished goods. Administrative overhead is also absorbed in finished goods. And from the finished goods, whatever goods are sold will go to cost of the sales. And remaining finished goods are in stock. Selling overhead is also absorbed in cost of sales. And from here, cost of sales will go to costing P&L. Sales. What is the entry of sales? Party to sales. But here party we don't have. So cost control ledger to sales. And then sales will come here. Cost of sales, so you are getting GP. Bring down the GP and under over absorption and other expenses and profit, you again transfer to cost sheet. So please check the ledgers. And if they ask you journal entry for 5 marks, in question number 6, last question, will you be able to do it? Sure? Chalo. Cost ledger control entry like material there, here, wages there on the debit here. So finally, if you make the trial balance, it will tally. Stores, work in progress, finished goods on the debit side, cost control on the credit side. Yes? Chalo. Next I'm going, it's a challenge. Students give me that feedback that the most awesome class of costing with you was operating costing and reconciliation. And reconciliation can come in question number 1 for 5 marks, for question number 6, and sometimes 10 marks question also. They will ask you to make the cost sheet, they'll give you P&L and they'll ask you to reconcile. Or they'll give P&L, cost sheet bhi banao, and then reconcile. So anything. Now, without looking into any format printed in the booster notes or printed in the Sarthi handwritten notes. Sarthi batch, if you attend with me, compulsory I'll make you write. I'll not give you notes. These notes are like last moment help out for students because now you don't have time to write. But if you attend the batch, you have to write because you have to write 3 hours of paper also. 15 minutes time, reading time, अच्छे से choice करो question बेटा. सुनो ध्यान से. This is costing books. This is financial books. What do you think will be the reason? One is stock valuation. Huh? In costing, we may have valued closing stock at 10 rupee. In financial books, because we follow AS, we may have valued 12. So the profit will differ. That's one reason. Second is under over absorption of overhead. In cost sheet, we have absorbed factory overhead at 5 per unit, but actual factory overhead are 6. So under over absorption, stock valuation. These are the two differences in the costing and financial profit. Third difference is few items we just take in cost sheet, like we might provide interest on capital, rent to the proprietor, and so on. Here, few items we might take it in the financials, like loss on sale of asset, interest on debentures, that we never take in the cost sheet. That's why the costing profit and the financial profit is not same. Clear to all of you? Is the reconciliation very clear? Right? चलो. हाँ मैम, लेकिन आपने तो बता दिया डिफरेंस क्या है, बट कब ऐड करना है, कब लेस करना है. आई एम टेलिंग यू, पोजीशन योरसेल्फ where you are in costing profit. I teach this topic like this only. Ma'am, where are the booster notes and where are the handwritten notes? उड़ गए. ध्यान से सुनो आप मेरी बात ध्यान से सुनो. And if it is clear, promise comment below and share this video with your friends whom you feel this will give a boost for preparation. फिर आज रात को tomorrow what you have to study, I'll tell you at the end, and that you have to do it on your own. I am always there at the back supporting you, but continuously it's not the right way I feel for teachers to go on. Okay, तो चलो अभी हम क्या करेंगे जल्दी से आपको बताएंगे. ये देखो, ये कॉस्टिंग का प्रॉफिट है. पोजीशन योरसेल्फ. If they ask you to prepare memorandum, reconciliation, statement, add and list. If they ask you to prepare account, add is all credit में credit, add debit list. Ma'am, they asked memorandum, reconciliation, account, but I to like statement, so I did add list. 0 marks. Do what they say. No, why you want to do on your own? Now, how to do it? Listen. Your start on where you are holding on. Your costing profit is there. Okay, this much. Now here the closing stock is 13, here it is 15. Difference in valuation. Can we say to others, you change, you do blah blah? No, everything we only have to do. So your costing profit is here, and here the closing stock is 13, here it is 15. Can we increase our closing stock? If we increase the closing stock, what is the impact on profit? Add. Higher the closing stock, higher the GP, higher the NP. मैम ये तो आपने बिजनेस हेड में पढ़ाया, एड लेस, तो वही तो है. मैम ये सेम इंश्योरेंस क्लेम्स में पढ़ा, तो वही तो है. Be confident when you are writing professional exam. If you can link up the topics, link up the subjects, you will enjoy writing exam with a different amazing confidence. Okay? So this is clear to all of you, right? If this is regular batch, reconciliation only goes for 3 hours, 2 classes. Because there, when I make you understand, I make you practice and homework. You have to say the answer. Till not go on doing that in the class. Huh? चलो अभी second difference देखते हैं. In costing, in the cost sheet, factory overhead is 20 rupees. But actually in your P&L, factory overhead is only 17 rupees. 3 rupees you have overcharged. Reduce the factory overhead. If I reduce, what's the impact on profit? It will increase. So add. Please don't mug up. This will be added. This will, you analyze it. You will do it faster and correcter in exam. Ma'am, but I'm holding on to cost sheet, costing profit. But instead of profit, it's a loss. तो add की जगह less करो, less की जगह add करो. No, please. ऐसे नहीं करना है. If it is a loss, put it in brackets. We all know brackets plus minus. but add will be add and less will be less. Instead of profit, if it is loss, then just put it in brackets. I think this much is enough. Let us check our format over here. This is my format which I give to the students. चलो करें साथ में. Profit as per the costing. Again and again ask where you are standing. Costing. So items credited only in financial books. Rent received, dividend received, everything is dumped in P&L account credit side. Chalo, let us also dump. Overvaluation of closing stock in financial books. So they have valued 18, we valued 30. Chalo, let us also make it 18. If you increase closing stock, profit will increase. Administration overhead, over absorbed in costing books. They said actual factory overhead is 17. We said it's 20. 3 rupees, no, reduce. If I reduce overhead, what's the impact on the profit? Add. So add. Notional expense is debited in costing books. You can't pay rent to yourself and interest to yourself, but you have debited, add back. Now, they have debited certain items like amortization of goodwill preliminary. Ma'am, we never take all this in cost sheet, but they have debited, no? You also less so that your profit will tally. This is all on paper, nothing to do in books. Overvaluation of opening stock in financial books. Opening stock is 23. In your books, 20. You also make it 23. If I increase opening stock, my profit will reduce, my expense will increase by 3 rupees. कम कर दो profit को. Factory overhead under absorbed in costing. Charge more. Reduce the profit. That's it. Instead of profit, if it is loss, then just put this in bracket. But don't change your add colors. And ma'am, if they ask you T format, then start with the costing profit, and whatever you have written, add all that credit. Whatever you have written less, all that debit. Okay? Right. They are asking you, see, these kind of questions for 5 marks. Net. Now I don't think problems are required here. But what I wanted to check was, one second. Journal entries, they are asking you to write. I was checking if I can show you the journal entries. 1 minute. Compiler copy is also there. Compiler is already sent to all of you in the past exam papers all are sent, no? So there I want to share one question of 5 marks for journal entries, which I feel they can ask you. Cost sheet also, this last question is only very nice. Number of units produced. Sarthi batch we have taken now. I don't know. Shall we take the problems and all? 1 minute. One question where they have asked you to write the journal entries. I feel 5 out of 5 marks. Same they can ask you. This is the cost sheet. See, May, November, RTPs. Yeah. Solutions are also there in the compiler. Chapter wise, it's prepared. CMA students, you have time. Do practice these problems. Only where you don't have depth is the cost sheet and the process costing. Break के बाद पहले marginal and operating करेंगे. Marginal comes in question number 1 only. That's why I'm not going to question. I'm tempted to show you that question, but from my side minus is I should have kept the question number ready, है ना? In fact, ये print भी पूरे नहीं है मेरे सामने भी. Fine, in the break, if I get you, I'll show you cost. Integrated ledgers, journal entry. They're so beautiful. 5 marks journal entry they have asked. Yeah, yeah, index and all is there. Marginal costing, if you do past exam papers, it's like super for practice. चलो ठीक है. 1 minute. And share the booster notes. You check it now. Booster notes, booster notes. ये रहा. So these are the way ledgers are prepared. Step for reconciliation. That's it. Okay. After the break, we are doing operating costing first, marginal costing, and then all chotu chotu chapters. Exactly 3 minutes of break and come back. All right. Are you all also back? Teaching is such a passion that it should, go on for like years. मतलब कितनी भी देर पढ़ा सकते हैं. That passion is there. But then, as I said, some constraints are there. I can't take longer classes. But I'm always available for doubt clearing. Either message me on once I'll write my number, or that's concept classes number. Just click the picture, send your doubt, or join our Telegram group. There I have already uploaded the compiler. Someone was asking me, ma'am, you did everything, but you didn't take top 50 questions. Those are top 70 questions. But like reconciliation, just now we did non-integrated reconciliation, and it has come 3 times, 4 times. So I have solved all the questions there in the top 70 questions. You solve just one or two which you feel important now. Huh? So after this marathon live revision video is to give you a push that you know the concept and what exactly. So now if you're writing down, or you can pause the video, watch it repeatedly, non-integrated reconciliation. In that compiler, check the question. Again now, next time taking operating costing, again check the question. Like that you can do it. And I feel once you're done with compiler, your past 5 exams, RTPs, MTPs, past exams, actual paper is all covered in that. After that, then study material, important questions. And yesterday night, so tomorrow night, you can keep, or early morning, if you can wake up day after tomorrow, 1.5 hour you spare for theory questions. At the end, just remind me, I will mark it, and all the theories there in your study material, or you have joined coaching with us in the Sarthi material. Repeated questions are only asked. Okay? Right, chalo. Right now, very quickly, we are starting with the non-integrated. नहीं, नॉन इंटीग्रेटेड तो हो गया. क्या कर रहे थे, हमने लिख के रखा था ना, इसीलिए एक्स्ट्रा बातें नहीं करना है, कुछ भी नहीं करना है, सीधा काम करना है. या we are doing marginal costing, because marginal costing is very, very important and repeatedly asked. And please write the doubt clearing number of concept classes: 92900 65156. I'll pin this and put it in the chat also, so that if you have a doubt, you can ask. Okay, right. 92900 65156. Done. Sure. Now, shall we do it in the sequence also? That way also we can do it fast. What is unit costing? Huh? You know that per unit material rate is this, labor rate is this, factory overhead is absorbed as a percentage of direct wages, administrative overhead is absorbed as a percentage of factory cost, like this. Then can you make a cost sheet? If you say, for me, there is no difference between job cost sheet and the flexible budget. Flexible budget problems are same. We are working at 75% capacity. These are our fixed costs. These are our variable costs. So if instead of 75%, if I work at 85% capacity, what it will do? Okay. So that is it. Unit costing, total number of units produced, and nothing is given. Factory overhead is always charged as a percentage of direct labor, and that percentage you can use. Simultaneous equation problems are also there. Administrative overhead is charged as a percentage of the you'll not find much problems from this in the past exam. Best way study material के solve problem orally देख लेना कल सुबह. ठीक है? Administrative overhead as a percentage of works cost or factory cost. Selling overhead for works cost or number of units sold. ठीक है? Right. Like EOQ, we have under root EBQ. What should be the batch size? Where D is annual production demand, S is the setup cost. There it was ordering cost, here it is setup cost. C is the carrying cost. This problem came in May 23 exam in question number 1 for 5 marks, and the silliest of mistake was ये per unit. पर यूनिट पर एनम नहीं था, पर मंथ था, तो मल्टीप्लाई बाय 12 करना है ना बेटा. एंड व्हाट इज सेटअप कॉस्ट? डी बाय क्यू. व्हाट इज डिमांड? डी. EOQ, how many units you are producing? Say 5,000 is the demand. I am producing 500. So 10 times you will have to do the setup, and setup cost is given. Okay. Q by 2 is the average stock what you maintain. Exactly like we saw the discount policy problem of the material chapter. Okay? Right. That's all for job and batch costing. Contract costing, either it comes for 10 marks. I thought of doing operating costing, but then a lot of time is going in just scrolling up and down. So keep patience. I'll spare more time for operating and marginal, which repeatedly comes in exam, but these are simple topic. Contract account, if they ask you to prepare, we should know the format. On debit side, material, wages, expense, higher charges, and all. Don't take depreciation of the plant. Plant opening value 100, closing value 90. This is material issued, and this is material at site, or it's not given, but material return will come here. So automatically material consumed will come. When you take wages and expenses, because this topic is very easy, if they ask you 10 marks question, they might twist you in outstanding and prepaid. So closing outstanding is added, closing prepaid is deducted, that all we know. Now, what do you mean by work in progress? Yeah, work in progress is like how much work is completed, certified by architect. 66.67%, one third. But actually 80% work is over. Remaining work, 3 floors हैं, तो 2 floor बन गए हैं. Third floor you have put up the pillar, yet slab and walls are pending. So can we say work uncertified is for that expenses incurred, but it's not certified. So 67% income. What is work certified? Contract price into 75% and all. Say this is 80%. So when you credit this, you will get the notional profit. Okay. You don't have those formulas of dividing the notional profit by 1/3, 2/3, all zigzag is not there. So let's not waste time. One pitfall they might ask you, if this contract account is for third year, you might have opening work in progress because this is closing. So next year it might be opening. Are you getting? Same way material at site will be opening, plant at site. So be careful that if they ask you contract account and it is for the second and third year, this. Other than this escalation clause का एक problem मैं अभी आपको कराऊंगी और 5 marks का problem. For contract account, again, super quick revision video is there. 100% you will get clarity watching the concepts. Ma'am, what's the difference between that and this? Therefore, every chapter, solved questions in detail I have discussed. Ma'am, then what is Sarthi batch? आपको question कराते हैं, notes लिखाते हैं. And what's regular batch? Homework, notes, everything is to be done in class. है ना? चलो. Now, what do you mean by escalation clause? If there is a change in the material price or the labor price, material price and the labor rate, then a part of the increase should be shared by the contractee also, na? We gave you that 10 lakhs may we will do the work, but that time cement price was this. Now if it has shooted up, you have to spare. So escalation clause is saying that if there is a difference in standard price and actual price of raw material, or standard hours and actual hours ka rate, hourly rate, then that price change contractee will pay. But why they are multiplying by standard quantity only? Standard quantity से ही multiply होगा. Why? Because instead of 10 kgs of cement, if you have used 15 kg of cement, contractee will not bear for it. You wasted more cement. हमको क्या मतलब? Quantity तो you know ना कि how much you needed. You should have known. But if there's a change in price, it was 100 per kg and now it is 180. So this 80 rupees part will be bear by contractee. So escalation problem, please write over there, refer study material problem. 8 minutes it will take. Are you writing one refer list? In fact, I forgot. कि मैं भी साथ साथ में क्लिक लेती थी तो हो जाता था. तो स्टडी मटेरियल में ओनली वन प्रॉब्लम इज देयर, और इफ यू हैव अटेंडेड द बूस्टर बैच सारथी इन द ऐप तो उसमें भी है. ठीक है, चलो. हाँ, now with this, 5 marks questions they are asking you. What is the value of the work certified? It's given by the percentage by contract price. Value of the work uncertified is also given as a percentage of the contract price. Thank you. Thank you so much for putting message in the live that you all are following the class and you are thanking me. I should also thank you for trusting me to be your Sarthi actually. You know who is Sarthi? Who's always with you, who's accompanying you till your exam. That's what I want to be. Chalo. So, value of work certified and works uncertified. Say value of work certified is 80%, work uncertified is 90%. And 90% ka cost incurred is say 70 rupees. This is 90% of the contract value and 90% ka cost is 70. So 20 rupees is the notional. They can turn this left to right and they can ask you question. Work certified, work uncertified, work in progress, and all. ठीक है? Right. So that's all for the contract account. No, one more thing I wanted to revise. अब उसको कहाँ से revise करें आपके लिए? Yeah, these kind of the questions. Sarthi booster notes. You know that RST construction company's question. So they are asking you to make the contract account for this year. But next year's also, if you can make and estimate the profit, RST construction. Check that one question. No, please, I'm writing here. RST construction from the study material. Institute study material or Sarthi material. And second is escalation clause. So these two questions, if you check, no, it will be clear to you. Nice, clear. Contract account is over. Next is process account. Process account थोड़ा बाद में करेंगे, equivalent और वो सब है. Activity based costing भी last में I'll do. I'm going now to operating or service costing. This is only asked for 4 marks. For hospital, what will be the denominator? Per patient per day. For hotels, number of rooms. But if a number of rooms are not having same fare, suite or double room or single room or AC or non-AC, can we convert the denominator into equivalent number of hotel rooms so that we get one answer, total hotel cost? Here the very important thing, dear students, is, ma'am, shall I make the cost sheet? Is it a cost sheet only? Yeah, but it is for service industry. What cost sheet I taught you earlier was for a manufacturer. Then shall I make it for 1 month, 6 month or year? Then it is the denominator. If they give you ton kilometer per month, then numerator also everything per month. ठीक है? One school problem is also there that can be repeated again, that some students are paying 100 rupees fees, some are paying 125. Can we convert them into equivalent number of the students? Yes. So this can be asked for 4 marks MCQ. Passenger kilometer, cargo, canteen, number of meals, electricity, kilowatt hours. These are the denominators. And cost. If you can segregate fixed and variable, okay, ma'am, mujhe nahi pata. Just put the list down. Don't do wrong things. 2 minutes, huh, dear students? 2 minutes, dear students. I'm warning you. I'm making you aware. In income tax code correct section. Ma'am, kuch to tha. HRA 10, 13, 10, 13A. If you know it, write it. If you don't know, leave it. Same way here. Huh? If you know it, segregate the overhead in operating costing. Ki this will go in fixed. This will, petrol, diesel will go in variable. some may be semi-variable. I started my class on how to segregate semi-variable overhead, and I'm not going to explain again. Overhead chapter, this chapter, budgeting, जहाँ use करना है करो. अभी सुनो मेरी बात ध्यान से. So if you don't know to segregate, just list down everything, put the total. They are not doing that harsh correction ki the marks will go. Okay? I feel it's always student friendly. Now some students are going to comment below, ma'am, ऐसा तो आप बोल रहे हैं ये वो. ठीक है चलो. Banks and institutions per transaction, per service, if they give loans and all. Education institute. This list is not there for the CMA students. CMA students have only for ton kilometers, passenger kilometers, hospital, library, बस वही है simple वाले problems. Yeah, chalo. Now, this exam, this MTP exam, they've asked you to solve the problem with commercial ton kilometers. Students have done everything correct for 10 marks, but they lost because they have taken absolute ton kilometers. Now, ma'am, what is this? When there are two denominators, keep per ton. You know, when you give the courier ka packet, they wait. So they will charge per kg, and where you want to send from Hyderabad to Nagpur, 500 kilometers. From Hyderabad to Delhi, 1100 kilometers. So per kg per kilometer. Like that, it is absolute ton kilometers. Tons and kilometers. Ton and kilometers. So absolute ton kilometers, A to B destination, ton to kilometer, B to C, ton kilometer, C to A, ton kilometer, and then do the total. If it is commercial ton kilometer, A to B, B to C, C to A, just do the total distance multiplied by average load. Somewhere it is 8 tons, somewhere it is 9 tons, somewhere it is 6. Can you divide by 3 and get average? So average load into the total kilometers. What I am saying, this only this can be asked for 5 marks. In question number 1, calculate absolute ton kilometer. Can they ask you this for 5 marks? Yes. Tell me whether you have followed or not. Put me a message. All clear. AC, AC. Chalo. So, ma'am, nothing given what we should do. Always solve the problem with absolute ton kilometer. But this November exams MTP, they asked you to solve it by commercial ton kilometer. Then do accordingly. ठीक है? Operating cost sheet is prepared monthly, quarterly, depending upon denominator. Denominator is passenger kilometer, ton kilometer, and all. Okay? And these are the operating cost sheet easier. You want me to explain the weighted average, or you will be able to do? Like some students are coming from 4 kilometers, they are paying 100 rupees. Some are coming from 8 kilometers. There are 50 students. So if I convert them equivalent, 4 kilometers wale 100. So 8 kilometers ko bhi 4 kilometers if we do, they will also become 100, no? Are you getting? Or 8 kilometers 50 hai, to 4 kilometers that will also become 50 if you convert equivalent number of units. Okay. So operating costing, acha, if they give you some new question, toll plaza, insurance and all, just write all expenses and denominator. You will at least get 60% marks in that question. And tell me a promise that first 1.5 hour, you will do the best question you know first to ensure that you get 50 marks. That gives a beautiful boost. Yeah, right. Marginal costing surely comes in question number 1 only. Some formulas they'll give you and you have to apply and calculate the values. So we know the format, that is sales minus variable cost is contribution minus fixed cost is the profit. This is like marginal cost sheet. So PV ratio is contribution by sales into 100. PV ratio is change in contribution by change into sales into 100. And this is asked for 5 marks for 2 times. Change in profit. 2011 में प्रॉफिट था, बाद में लॉस हुआ, तो दिस चेंज, और सेल्स में चेंज इन सेल्स, दिस इज लाइक 5 मार्क्स के लिए हॉट फेवरेट. मैम ये क्वेश्चंस कहां से मिलेंगे? व्हाट यू आर सेइंग? कंपाइलर. दिस इज द कंपाइलर. This compiler is there in the Telegram group. I have again put it today. ये देखो, all questions are solved in this. In fact, marginal costing is only going on. See, this is the question. 22, 23, 24. So change in the cost. So like this, repeatedly same questions are there. Yeah, please come back. What is PV ratio? Change in profit by change in sales into 100, or change in contribution by change in sales into 100. Variable cost ratio is variable cost by sales into 100. One second, dear students. Done. Sales ratio, variable cost ratio by sales into 100. So now PV ratio, if say your PV ratio is 20% of the sales, then your variable cost ratio is 80%. So variable cost ratio is 80%. And variable cost and PV ratio put together makes your sales ratio. Break even point, where there is no profit, no loss. So contribution and fixed cost are equal. Yeah, at break even point. What is the formula? Break even point is fixed cost by PV ratio. Break even point is fixed cost by PV ratio in rupees, and in quantity, because contribution and fixed cost are same. Can we take fixed cost is nothing but total contribution? At the break even point, total contribution divide by contribution per unit is the break even point in quantity. ठीक है? Right. Yeah. What is margin of safety sales? Margin of safety sales is sales above break even. If I sell 100, I'll reach break even. But if I do 120, in 100 break even sales, there is no profit, no loss. So can I say my profit is only in the actual sales, which is more than the break even sales, 20 rupees margin of safety. So margin of safety is profit by PV ratio. Because, or margin of safety, matlab in 20 rupees, if you calculate PV ratio 10, you will get profit too. Are you getting? Till 100, there is no profit or loss. But at 120, you are having the profit. So in that 20 additional sales, that's margin of safety sales over and above your break-even sales. And that if you multiply PV ratio, that's why I've given like this also. Profit is equal to margin of safety by PV ratio. And I've given here to learn कि break-even point is fixed cost by PV ratio, margin of safety is profit by PV ratio. ठीक है? PDF is there in the Telegram group and Telegram link. I will pin it also after I complete this live, and Telegram is link is there in the any of the videos description also. Sure. YouTube channel पे भी देखो तो ऊपर रहेगा बेटा. ठीक है? And not only this, booster notes PDF. Booster notes are all formulas and important pointers I've put at one place. But along with the booster notes, I really want you to take the print of the compiler also. What is compiler? All past 5 attempts from 21, I have compiled chapter-wise questions for RTPs, MTPs and past exams. तो वो जरूर solve करो. Tomorrow half day, next half day for the study material and your Study material, important questions and theory. And then Monday, exam day, whatever you wish to do. Okay? ठीक है बेटा, ये plan आप लोग सबके लिए. Done, dear students. If you have attended Sarthi, you will definitely follow this very fast. Sarthi, for costing, I have taken it in my app. It was not live in YouTube. Done. All right. So break-even point is like fixed cost by PV ratio. So margin of safety is profit by PV ratio. ठीक है? Break-even point quantity, margin of safety, quantity. Quantity matlab in units mein if you want. See, fixed cost and contribution are same at the break-even point. So contribution per unit will give you number of units. Margin of safety, sales and selling price. This additional 20 rupees sales has only brought you profit. Cash break-even point is fixed cost by contribution per unit ki jagah cash fixed cost. So in fixed cost, you might have depreciation or some expenses, amortization, which are non-cash. So you can take it as cash. Okay, right. All I have told you, if the selling price is same and variable cost is increasing, then profit or PV ratio will come down. Yeah, अगर selling price same रखना है आपको, but variable cost is becoming 80% and selling price is same, profit will come down. No, I want to maintain same profit and variable cost is also 88. तो फिर selling price बढ़ा दो. अरे, I've given you one example on the screen. Is it clear or not? Put me some message. You all are asking queries. Material कहाँ है? ये क्या है? I'm answering. Why you all are not answering? Say not clear. If not clear or clear. 180 variable cost 20 is my profit. Now my cost has increased to 88. But I want the selling price to be same. Selling price same, but my cost has increased. Profit will come down. No, ma'am, I want the same profit 20. And cost has increased 88. Can I say sell it? Selling price bhi bada do. See, after post-COVID, so many people have increased the expenses because they I mean, say increase their selling price. Simple, you go to saloon and they will charge more because they said we were incurring the cost for sanitizers and disposables and all more. Simple logic. So based on this, they can ask you question. Shutdown point. It's also the break-even point, but below that, avoidable fixed cost divided by PV ratio. What is avoidable fixed cost? Total fixed cost minus unavoidable fixed cost will give you avoidable fixed cost. Okay. Reconciliation questions are very simple, marginal and all. You just read these pointers. It will be so very clear to you. And I'll tell you also. I'll show you also. See. In marginal costing, material, labor, variable, factory overhead, variable. So now stock, you are valuing it at variable cost. Stock, opening stock and closing stock, you are valuing it at variable cost. So you are getting number of units sold, contribution. And then fixed cost mein fixed factory, fixed admin, fixed. This is the way you get the profit. Where? In marginal costing. Since long they have not asked this reconciliation. But generally marginal costing is covered for 5 marks in question number 1 only. Acha, absorption costing. Ma'am, what is this? Cost sheet. Material, labor, factory overhead, factory cost, overhead, cost of production. Here opening stock is factory overhead mein fixed and variable dono. So your stock is in cost sheet, your stock is fixed and variable both. Here your stock is at only variable. That's one difference. And under absorption. Here factory overhead is absorbed at fixed cost per unit. Here factory overhead is actual. So if there is under over absorption, you can adjust it. Ma'am, but if we adjust in cost sheet, then why this profit will differ? The marginal costing profit and the absorption costing profit will differ only because of the stock valuation. Every batch, students are writing, ma'am, I feel why you are such an underrated teacher. You're so clear. You are linking up the subjects because I teach accounts, taxation, costing. Accounts, I got 95. You ask me anything, investment account, insurance claims, pre-post, reconciliation. It's like by heart, I'll AS. Then why? Because, you know, I didn't knew the marketing skills. I'm learning the marketing skills. I'm not scared of teaching 1500 students at a time. But I was thinking, okay, I'm a good teacher, I'm doing fine. But now I realize that if you're good, you have to be seen. I hope you all support me. I'm being very honest with all of you. Chalo. हाँ तो which one you will not leave in choice? Material, EOQ या परचेज वाला, लेबर, रोवन हल से या फ्लक्स मेथड, ओवरहेड, सप्लीमेंट्री रेट नहीं छोड़ना, ठीक है. ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्टिंग, एब्सोल्यूट, कमर्शियल एंड ऑल नहीं छोड़ना. कॉस्ट शीट, डू इट बट डू इट लिटिल कॉशियसली. हाँ, राइट इन योर टू डू लिस्ट, वॉच द फॉर्मेट ऑफ द कॉस्ट शीट. एंड नाउ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग आई एम सेइंग इज budgetary control choice में नहीं छोड़ना. Trust me dear students, 2010 onwards I can show you my result. This is a chapter, सीधा साधा वाला chapter. The way they give the problem is always easy. There's no creativity here. If you want to leave process versus activity based costing. Time बहुत जाता है ना. करेंगे, I'll teach you. Process also simple one is very easy. Equivalent is easy. But you have to be careful how to make the workings. ठीक है, चलो जल्दी से budgeting. Okay, tell me orally. 10 minutes I can revise this topic. In fact, it's my dinner time with my mother-in-law also. So I'll close it in another 15-20 minutes, whatever best we could have worked out. Time permits, I'll come live tomorrow. If not, voice note मैं डालते रहूंगी. आपको जो भी doubts हैं, click the pictures and मुझे ये मत बोलना मैम, can you solve this whole problem for me? How can you ask like that to a teacher? You say I have solved it, whether it is correct or not, I'll correct and send you beta. हाँ, चलो अभी सुनो. All the budgeting starts with sales budget. You decide. Next month, December month, how much I want to sell this. Okay. According to that, according to my sales, okay, this much I have to sell. Closing stock, this much I should maintain. Opening, this much is there. Can I decide what is my production budget? Yes. Once production budget is clear, okay, right. Production budget is clear. Now, based on the production, I want to produce 20,000 units to meet up my sales budget. So to produce 20,000 units, I need raw material A, 1 unit, 1 kg. Okay, I need 20,000 kg of raw material. I have 2,000 in stock and I want to maintain 5,000 stock of raw material. Can I get raw material purchase budget? How much should I purchase? At what rate should I purchase? So simple. Okay, I have to produce 20,000 units. Each unit requires 80 hours. 20,000 units, 1,60,000 hours. Each worker works 200 hours. How many number of workers? मैम आप क्या कर रहे हैं? मैं ना रूबिक खेल रही हूँ. This is the mind mapping. If you do it, if you practice it 2-3 times, and then if you come and tell me I could not complete my paper in time, it's not possible. Those students who say we could not complete the paper, ma'am, 58 मिले 85 में से अगर 100 marks का पेपर करते तो 60, तो क्यों छोड़ के गए थे लेबर चैप्टर? And why you could not attempt 100 marks is writing practice. कल का दिन है ना, कंपाइलर ले लेके करो सॉल्व 6 घंटे. And the next 3 hours for study material, important questions, and last 2 hours before you, तो 12 घंटे पढ़ना है, बिल्कुल पढ़ना है. And last 2 hours for what I said, theory question. करेंगे पक्का, promise? चलो. Budgeting I will start. Yeah. All the budget are linked with the sales budget. From their production, then material and purchase and so on. So how do you make the production budget? Number of units sold. I want to sell 10,000 units. In closing stock, 2,000 units तो should be there. You can't be have stock out. Reorder level पढ़ा है दीप्ति मैम ने. So 10,000 units here, 2,000 units. 12,000. Out of that 1,000 are in stock. 11,000 units I should produce. Okay. Number of units produced is 11,000. Raw material is required is 1 kg. So 11,000 kg raw material is to be consumed. But at least 1,000 kgs of raw material should be in stock also, no? So I need 12,000. But already 500 kg is there, ma'am. Opening stock of raw material. तो 11,500 kg खरीद लो. At what rate? 50 per kg, like that. And this I'm doing for A raw material. Can you do it for B raw material? Yes. Do you all know how to use M plus M minus? If not, give me a message. I'll call you on Zoom and I'll teach you so that you are able to complete your paper on time. Same way, labor. Number of units produced into the labor hours. Ma'am, but we have skilled workers and so to produce this, how many skilled workers are required? How many unskilled workers are required? What is their rate per hour? Like that, you can make the labor budget. See, I've given one example. You can use this in standard costing also. 1 unit requires 9 minutes. And for 60 minutes, you are paying to worker 5 rupees. For 9 minutes, how much you will pay? 5 into 9 divided by 60. So per unit का labor का खर्चा है 0.75 rupees. Ma'am, फिर से बोलो. This is the way. No formula is there. Costing is super duper logical. Super duper logical. One unit requires, check this for 2 minutes. I'm not giving any break because I have to close then. I'll just come back in 2 minutes. Never taken classes at this time generally, but there was no way out. If you have exam and then tomorrow my schedule is not possible. हाँ चलो तो ये देखो फिर से I'll explain you. 1 unit requires 9 minutes. For 60 minutes I'm paying 5 rupees. For making 1 unit 9 minutes के लिए I'll pay how much? 9 into 5 by 60. Correct? 0.75 rupees per unit is the labor cost. Same way you can make overhead budget. Number of units produced, from the production budget, and overhead rate per unit or per hour or per machine hour they'll give you. Same way plant utilization. Number of units produced, they will give how many machine hours per unit requires and what's the rate per machine hour. Okay, budgeting, sometimes they are mixing up with marginal costing. How I will tell you that there's a concept called as limiting factor. Ma'am, if we have 3 products, can we produce jiska contribution is highest? Yeah, yes. But now, if the quantity labor is limited, raw material is limited, mix is limited, so can they give you like sales mix or labor hours and all? So what is the highest contribution sales mix? That you produce first. Are you getting what I'm saying? One problem is there in study material. As it is asked, P, Q and R. Highest contribution should be produced. But if we produce 3 units of P, Q का 1 unit बनाते हैं, R का 2. ये mix fix है. So contribution multiplied by sales mix. Say contribution is 3, 8 and 1. So 3 threes are 9, 8 and 3. Who is having highest? This. And then this and then this. If you have a limiting factor, hours are limited, kgs material, you can multiply and take. Chalo. What is flexible budget? Nowadays, budgeting is also asked in question number 1. Ma'am, क्या क्या आता है question number 1 में? Material, labor, operating costing, marginal costing, budgeting, 5 marks small budget. How? Flexible budget. At 80%, they'll give you all the data. Can you make it at 90%? Yeah. Fixed cost will be same. Variable cost per unit will be same. Semi-variable change in cost, we know, I told you in the beginning. Huh? Now, this is a very beautiful concept. So I've written it as booster notes. If discount is given in the selling price and percentage expense is based on sales, then expense should also be calculated on normal. See, my normal sales are 100. My variable cost is 80%. Just because Shiva is my very known student, I gave him 10% discount and I have sold him in 90. Can I say variable cost will be 80% of 90? No. Variable cost will be 80 and the profit margin will come down. Oh, that's why I'm saying if you just take a printout of booster notes and read it, you will not understand it because these booster notes are written in the class with the students by practicing the concepts and examples. तब जाके booster notes fit होते हैं. How many of you have seen Sarthi batch? Most of the students have told कि these are like Gita Bible and these are like Brahmastra. I don't want so heavy words for my booster notes, but I trust it. If you read this line and if that concept is clicked, you will score super well in the exam. Just because I've given you discount in selling price doesn't mean I should take variable expenses as a percentage of sales. Anna? Right. That's all for budgetary control and standard costing. It will take time. Formulas are there. When you have to apply this, I usually do it by calculating standard quantity into standard price, actual quantity into actual price, actual quantity into standard price. 3 columns. Revised actual quantity only when the more than one material is there. Sometimes even that is not there. So may be required, may not be required. And then if there is a difference in the cost variance, directly standard and actual. If there's a difference in price variance, price difference, then quantity you have to take actual. But if there's a difference in usage, so you just will say that price, so you will take standard. This I think you check it because it will take at least half an hour. I can't explain standard costing just like this. Now last I have left with, so I'm going back to, did I cover up all the chapters? Can you comment below? So we can end last with process costing. Pani khatam, class khatam. 6:30 to 9:30. I know you all would have preferred if I would have started at 7 and taken till 10, 11. That's not feasible for me, dear students. Whatever best I could do, I'm doing. Okay. My guesswork is if they gave you process costing normal wala problem, no equivalent and all, smile and solve it because it's very, very easy. Process costing starts with all material, labor, expenses and all on the debit side, quantity and amount, and on the credit side. Now, till your quantity doesn't tally, don't go to the rupees. That's the first important sign. What will come on the credit side? Normal loss. Normal loss could be of the material purchased or it could be of the percentage of the production also. Opening, purchase minus closing. So normal loss and scrap value. Now, we have put in 100 kgs. Normal loss is 10. but we are transferring to next process 80. 100 kgs we have put. We were prepared कि 10 loss होगा, तो 90. But actually we have transferred to next process 80. Means abnormal loss कितना है? 10. I'm again repeating till your quantity don't tally, don't get to the amounts. मतलब ये tally करने मत जाओ. हाँ, 100 minus normal loss was 10. So 90 I was prepared, but I got transferred to next process 95. Means there is abnormal gain of 5. I'm writing on the debit side. Did you get this concept? Normal loss can be a percentage of 100, or it can be a percentage of opening and cent and closing and all. Okay. Normal loss is always valued at scrap value. Ma'am, now how to value transfer abnormal loss and abnormal gain? Uske liye we have this formula. Cost per good unit. Total cost minus the scrap value divided by total quantity minus the normal loss quantity. ये देखो. Total cost divided by the normal loss cost. Total quantity minus, that's the cost per good unit. Had there not been abnormal loss, this would also have been good unit. So transfer to next process, abnormal loss and abnormal gain. 3 have to be, what do you say? These 3 have to be taken at cost per good unit. Please, it's not possible. I know like some of you are wishing ki my concept you're following and I could have taken at least two important problems. Imagine. No, I don't have that much capacity to take non-stop 9 hours, 10 hours, even with a break of half an hour and all. Or next time I'll plan it, pre-record it and then put it, that I can do. अब जो है वो है. चलो. See, normal loss you can take based on input, or normal loss you can base taken on production, opening, fresh input minus closing. Abnormal loss, abnormal gain. Abnormal loss, abnormal gain is valued at cost per unit. Normal loss is valued at scrap. ठीक है? So these are the points. Ma'am, what are these? These are extra ledgers. जैसे stock reserve बनाते हैं ना departmental accounts में, like that. Normal loss, process, normal loss, 50 units, 10 units at 10. Can we get bank में 10 rupees? Yes. Abnormal loss, 10 at good units, say 100. But then abnormal loss is also sold at scrap. Actually, it's good per unit. We thought कि 100 में 10 loss होगा तो 90 मिलेगा, लेकिन 80 मिला. तो abnormal loss 10 जो है ना, that the cost is 100, but it is also scrapped at the normal loss scrap value. So remaining 90 rupees is loss transferred to costing gain. An abnormal gain from process account, it will come on the credit side. Yeah, if they ask you 10 marks problem, dear students, you have to make the process account. You have to make the process account and these 3 ledgers. If you're asking me, ma'am, ये ledgers भी बनाने हैं, बनाना पड़ेगा, 10 marks problem है तो. Only equivalent cost units, that first table is asked for 5 marks. So just don't miss the next 10 minutes. I will explain you very quickly. Only that equivalent unit first table. And I'm telling you, look here. Abnormal आपका equivalent process costing और आपका activity based costing, standard costing. Study material is more than enough. Institute has made super problems. They are picking up the question and asking. बस वो कर लो कल के दिन. ये equivalent process costing के 4 problems are there. 2 by weighted average, 2 by FIFO. LIFO method तो है नहीं. So I'll tell you, just go through that. That will help you to score marks. हाँ, चलो जल्दी से करते हैं. So did you follow these? Abnormal gain will come here at 100, but abnormal gain के सामने normal loss will come, no, here. And it will get that when you make the ledgers, you will get it. For that, again, I have to solve the full problem. What is equivalent process costing? If I say closing work in progress is 2,500 units, but it's only 20% complete, can I say it's 500 equivalent units? Because the cost what I have incurred, material, direct material, 10,000 rupees, labor, 5,000, overhead, 2,000. This 18,000 I cannot divide by 1,000 units because 1,000 units are not complete. In that 800 units are complete and 200 units are 50% complete. So can I say this 18,000 cost is for 900 equivalent units? In the last 3 minutes, is my concept clear or am I going fast? Bolo. Dekho. 18,000 units. Ma'am, you only said total cost divided by number of units will give you cost per good unit. 800. जो भी आ रहा है आपका मतलब 18 per unit. But actually, in 1,000 unit, 800 units are complete and 200 units are 50% complete. So 900. So can I divide 18,000 expense not by 1,000 because 1,000 units are not complete. Not by 800 because 800 units are complete. But 200 units में भी तो 50% काम हुआ ना. 900. This will give you the cost per unit. How much is it coming? In my routine class, I give 5 examples like this till the students, हाँ मैम बस से अभी समझ में आ गया equivalent costing. Why you want to leave equivalent costing if it comes in question number 1 for 5 marks? सिर्फ इतना करके चले जाओ. नहीं करना है तो आपकी मर्जी. Then the video is over for you. But do watch and in 5 minutes I'll give some instructions. चलो. How do you make equivalent? Why do we make this table to get the units? Opening work in progress, say 5,000 units. Units introduced, say 5,000 or ये 1,000 कर लो opening. तो 6,000. Out of 6,000, if this is FIFO, first 1,000 units and now 3,000 units. Bye-bye. 4,000 units have gone. 500 units are normal loss. It is absorbed by good units. So normal loss is not having any equivalent units. Abnormal loss. And then closing work in progress. Once you complete this, then you go to make this. Ma'am, what is this? And if labor and overhead percentages are same, can we combine and make it? Yes. Save your time. Now, whatever 4,000 units have produced and gone, in that opening units, already 60% work was done. So now I'll do 40%. Current 3,000 units, so 5,000 में से produce हुए तो 100% complete. So these have gone bye-bye. Normal loss is dash. No. Abnormal loss is 100% complete. Or in one of the exam, abnormal loss also percentage of completion was given. So take that. ठीक है? Closing work in progress. What is closing work in progress? Closing work in progress. Closing work in progress. Say 200 units. But they are only 60% complete. So how much is equivalent unit? 120 units. Opening was 60% complete last time. So now we took 40. Current 100%. Ma'am, had it been FIFO ki jagah weighted average, then just 4,000 units, 100% complete. 4,000 units, 100% complete. This is how you get equivalent units. Once you get equivalent units, then you divide it by the cost. You get equivalent cost per unit. That per unit cut total karo and you apply to finished goods and all. And then you can prepare your process account. How many statements you have to make? First statement of equivalent units with lot of chances of getting 5-mark question. My guess is your this time's paper will have material, labor, marginal costing and operating or budgeting in question number 1. These 20 marks are yours. Question number 6. One theory question from chapter 1, unit of measure and all. One theory question they're asking for like features of cost plus contract. I'm telling you the theory questions now. Or they will ask you what is the budget manual. Zero based budgeting. Write a short note on costing with ERP. Huh? What are the essential features of integrated cost accounting? Please remind me if any one of you put a message. I have list of the theory questions also. If you want, I'll give. I don't want to bombard you with last moment ये दो वो दो. अगर चाहिए तो नहीं तो पास्ट जो मैंने आपको कंपाइलर दिया है ना उसमें थियोरी क्वेश्चंस वो करके चले जाओ. जितने पास्ट एग्जाम के पेपर्स है ना दैट इज ओनली कमिंग रिपीटेडली. चलो. So first is equivalent units, then you get the total cost, divide by equivalent units to get cost per good unit, and then statement of total cost, and then you can prepare the process cost. Huh? But here I have written certain pointers. If I start explaining them, it will take a lot of time. These are all my own made booster notes. Please don't copy it and make your own mark of it. I don't know. With a lot of trust, I thought of sharing this. Enough of giving this only to live batch students. Let this knowledge go to the world, this conceptual knowledge. But no one should say कि ये हमारा created है, क्योंकि आप देख लो language कुछ भी नहीं समझेगा आपको unless कि मैं समझाऊं. हाँ, but समझाने के बाद students have given the feedback that these booster notes, if you repeat it, you will surely do well in the exam. Speed भी आ जाएगा. Material A is material received from previous process and material B is current. So opening work in progress is nil for material A because it is the current process, and balance it is 100% complete. Opening work in progress. Huh? For material A it is nil, and for other जो भी balance complete हो रहा है वो लेना है. Opening work in progress for material A जो last process से आया है ना equivalent units, it is nil, but for material B, labor and overhead, balance. If it's 70% completed, take 30%. Current transfer is 100% complete. Closing work in progress percentage completed should be considered. 60 हुआ है, take 60. Huh? Right. Normal loss equivalent unit is always nil. Normal loss scrap value should be reduced from the cost of the material received from earlier process. In that, normal loss scrap value should be received so that you get the cost of the earlier processor received material divided by number of equivalent units of that material. Huh? Irrespective of percentage, abnormal gain is always 100% complete. Normal loss, how can you calculate? Abnormal gain is written on negative. Abnormal loss can be taken according to percentage of units scrapped. If not, it is always taken 100% complete. In process costing, you will do rounding of difference. Aega 2 digits, 4 digits, that you can take it in the abnormal loss and gain, generally what they are doing now, or you can take it in transfer value but write a note for it. Okay? Yeah. 3 hours of actual live marathon we have completed. Definitely, I would have loved to take 2 hours more with more of the problems, but I took problems of EOQ. I showed you the problems of the stores ledger, which I am expecting. So whatever best I could do, I am doing. But I have improved in my last 2 decades of teaching. I qualified in 1999, November attempt, 2000 I qualified. Since then, I am into teaching. But I've done a lot of improvement by the feedback from you students. So do comment below the video. Do share this video with your friends. Even CMA students can use it. Tomorrow, spare first half day in solving past exam papers. Question answer ready compiler is given to you in the Telegram. Not getting, put me a comment. I'll pin the Telegram link over here. And after that, spare 3 hours at least to solve important questions of the study material. Just scroll and do. And then 2 hours to cover up the theory. Or you can do study material, theory, or kuch important problems साथ में. Total 5 hours. Day after tomorrow is your exam. Still you have 4 hours in the morning. Please don't study anything new. मैम आज तक कभी equivalent नहीं किया तो अब छोड़ दो. मैम यू डिडंट कवर एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्टिंग. क्या पढ़ाऊं आपको? इट इज लाइक cost sheet only. But in the denominator, rather than taking common denominator, the denominator what you are taking is for stores delivery, number of deliveries. For this, I think this MTP ka ek question kar lo ho jayega. But don't directly take it in that ratio. If that ratio is connected with number of deliveries per, and also take that cost driver correctly, everything else will be correct for. I've seen students getting 10 out of 10 marks in ABC costing. कुछ रेफर करने की जरूरत नहीं है, स्टडी मटेरियल के प्रॉब्लम्स करो. Already separate videos there for that. You can check in costing playlist. MTP of past 5 attempts are solved in MTP playlist. आपको चाहिए तो देखो, नहीं चाहिए. And this is a rapid quick revision marathon of 3 hours. There is already 8.5 hours marathon there in YouTube where I have discussed the question answers also. So I think I've done my best what I could do. Thank you so much for trusting me and giving me this opportunity to be honestly your Sarthi at this last moment before exam. God bless you all. Love you all. And you know, this mindset should be very strong. कि कोई ऐसे जंग नहीं है, एग्जाम है, आप कर लोगे, याद आएगा. देखा हुआ क्वेश्चन, the question which you have seen will come in exam for sure. And 1.5 hour, do your best. That will pump up your confidence. चलो 50 marks तो आ गए, पास तो हो गए, लेकिन costing you have to score. You have to take a score to 80 to 87, and that is possible. Thank you so much. That's all for today. And any suggestions are welcome. Any doubts are there, take a screenshot, post me in my Telegram, or I've given my number. Once again, I'm giving 92900 is the number of concept classes. Put a picture, put your doubt. I'll surely clear it with voice note. God bless you all. You will do amazingly well in your life. Be positive. You're already in a super duper good field. Bye-bye. Yeah, we are definitely taking up live for taxation also. That schedule and everything I'll give you in the Telegram group. But I'm ready to do the changes what you feel we should do, because you have to do GST also. तो करेंगे, जो बेस्ट होगा आप सजेस्ट करो, जो मुझे बेस्ट लगेगा I'll do it. Bye bye all of you. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, do comment please. It's a very tough time. The Diwali, lot of work is going on. But and this was not much decided, otherwise I could have announced it 1 week back in all the groups and all. But I thought no, best I could give you a pumping ki jo maine abhi 3 hours mein padhaya, out of that 50% to you understood, no, something might have gone bound, so that's okay. ठीक है. And if you take the regular coaching also from same teacher and attend the booster notes, if you have taken from other teachers, then don't watch this. I mean, say tell others also not to watch there, so that you do it in link with them. Okay, bye bye all of you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you all commenting and sharing and liking and subscribing. Let me see how many likes are coming. That will help me to give a boost that I'm going for taxation live also.